So I'm assuming that you know this little underground indie project called, Has-Been Hotel, and how it was, a passion project before getting picked up by real-life Lex Luthor, and how it's the world's greatest underdog story, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm also assuming that the fan base can be a little, interesting, and I think I found the culmination of the fanbase in the subreddit r/crazy-ass-has-been-haters. My first introduction was one member calling someone a sexual predator because they criticized Has-Been Hotel. But hey, I'm not really sure what I expected. After all, most of the people in the Has-Been Hotel fandom are 14 years old, emotionally 14 years old, or attracted to 14-year-olds. But thankfully, it appears that the people in this subreddit are the former two, as I haven't seen any sort of predatory behavior in the crazy-ass-has-been-haters community, and without any further ado, let's get into it.
I kinda like chicken stars. Hell nah, chicken stars.
Now, I've taken the liberty of censoring people's names because harassment is bad, guys. I know, lukewarm take, but it's true. Please do not harass anyone featured in this video. Now, just like drinking, we're gonna start off with the hard stuff. Clearing some things up because some don't understand the Angel Dust lore and the SA representation. Viv sexualizes SA. If you think so because of the Poison official vid, you're the one sexualizing it. It's supposed to make the viewer uncomfortable. When we see the Angel Dust getting abuse scenes, Viv isn't trying to glorify it. It also shows how much pain the character is in, and it's trying to make you understand that these things happen in real life too. Hope this helps. This person did a "hope this helps" teehee on a post about sexual abuse. I didn't know there was such a way to accurately represent the Has-Been Hotel fan. You see, the main criticism of VivziePop in this whole Has-Been Hotel SA drama was that the guy who storyboarded the scene had an interest in that kind of thing, and it's just not a very good look for VivziePop. That being said, as far as I know, the storyboarder hasn't acted on his interests about that kind of thing, and I don't really care about your interests, but when you have an interest in, and you're storyboarding a scene about I think there's some reasonable backlash to be had. Most of the comments are about how this is kind of a buffoonish take. Some people definitely went, a little bit over the top, but overall the sentiment remains the same. And so the poster left a flurry of bad takes in the description. The first pick is the one all these comments are reacting to. These comments are awful. I want to agree with them so bad because I personally can't stand Angel Dust, but I have to stick with my morals and call out bullshit when I see it. This is just disgusting, kink-shaming, ignorance, and making shit up. Okay, alright, so far I'm on your side. Everything seems cool and fine and baller. Alright, now let's keep going. How many times do we have to go over this? Yeah, I can't say that word. If I say that, YouTube will most likely smite me. And making jokes about that is not wrong. It's fine to have a kink for that, whether it's to cope or not. It's fine to make jokes with fictional characters. I hate YouTube censorship so much, bro. I wish I could just say the word, but if I don't, YouTube will literally just like smite me from the face of the earth. Unless you're doing it with an actual person without their consent, it's not hurting anyone. If you don't like it, that's fine, but you can't use it as a reason to say something is objectively bad, because that's just not true. Alright, you kind of started losing me about the to cope or not area, but I hope you keep doing well. Alright, so far so good. Also, just because you're a victim doesn't make your opinion law. Okay, you're kind of losing me a little bit. There are so many SA victims that love Angel Dust and relate to him, and you've lost me. What are they not valid because they so happen to disagree with you? Bro, the common consensus that I've seen is that Angel Dust is a bad representation of SA, and I've seen this from multiple SA survivors, but hey, if someone can provide proof of me of people who are survivors of SA saying that they like Angel Dust and relate to him in the comment section, because, I would love to see that. Unlike some people, I can handle being proven wrong. Okay, this next one's pretty funny. It just boils down to Has-Been fans being terminally online and not being able to understand the joke. So, we have an absolute banger of a video. Could Adolf Hitler be redeemed at the Has-Been Hotel? A question as old as time. The comments are pretty split. You got some people saying the reason why there are no Nazis in hell is because they all get immediately slimed out upon entering by angels or angry sinners. You see, me personally, I would like to see more dictator representation in Has-Been Hotel, because hell is full of gay people for some reason, and yet not a single racist, Nazi, fascist, or any other person of that caliber is in hell, For some reason, bro. Hashtag add dictators to Has-Been Hotel, bro. And then on the other side, you have terminally online losers saying that Blackish is a terrible person who eats babies. You see, personally, one of my favorite comments is this.
Oh yeah, Blackish, the transphobic and ableist creator who made an October 7th joke about Vox and Angel, and made a video about how he thinks gambling addictions are funny. A very obvious and reliable soul to listen to.
First of all, the ableist part is because he made a video and titled it VivziePop is a bald retard. Not sure where the transphobia accusations came from, but I wouldn't be shocked if they were just making shit up. I'm pretty sure the only reason they didn't call him racist is because he's black. And as for the October 7th joke, it's a joke. You know, I'm yet to see exactly how he made the joke because, you know, I like offensive humor. But that being said, offensive humor is only good when it's funny. When it's not, it's just offensive. That being said, for people who watch a show that constantly makes use of edgy/shock humor, they really seem to get offended easily. Okay, this next one's definitely a bit of a softball compared to the others, but I feel like it kind of deserves its spot in here. It's just... Who asked? And then the comment is, it's a shame that the show is so dog water. Literally the only thing I like about it is Fizz and Ozzy's dynamic. And then the guy says, this was on a 6-month-old compilation video I made. I didn't ask. And I also hate people like this. Dog, have we just not evolved past ignoring things as a society? Like, you didn't need to post this. Like you said, this was on a 6-month-old video. And even then, this guy isn't a crazy hater as the tag says. They admit that they enjoyed Ozzy and Fizzaroli's dynamic. The comment got no attention, so why are you giving it attention, bro? Next up, we have another certified softball. We got, Drac would not say that. And then it's a Count Dracula meme account saying, my hotels are better and I look hotter, in response to like an Alistair Twitter post. Like, bro, come on. As a fandom, how are y'all this allergic to humor? Both Has-Been and Helluva use edgy and shock humor, so why are fans of these shows so susceptible to getting mad at jokes, bro? Rage baiting Has-Been Helluva fans is so easy because all you need to do is just like make a joke at the show's expense, and apparently you're just a crazy hater. Alright, and we have another instance of Has-Been fans not being able to take jokes, alright? We got Vancy Pop, and then we got this guy saying, this is disgusting. Bro, this isn't even hating. This is a joke, bro. Like, how are Has-Been fans genuinely this allergic to humor, bro? Right here, we just have another case of Has-Been fans just being sensitive weenies, alright? Like, this is prime Weenie Hut Jr. behavior. Like, bro, come on. Crazy the amount of obsession the haters have on the Nazi billionaire app that they have to try and make something about Has-Been/Helluva. Like, it's just one guy talking about how swearing works here, and it's just another guy making a joke about how VivziePop would get mad at, like, the, oh, if VivziePop wrote blank thing. Dog, I'm not even a big fan of the if VivziePop wrote jokes. I think they're old and kind of annoying, but taking 2 tweets about VivziePop and saying that they're super duper crazy haters for pointing out that swearing works in this instance and that VivziePop will get mad at the VivziePop wrote joke is a bit much, bro, in my opinion. Alright, we have another poorly made meme. Swearing, violence, and sexual content from Family Guy and South Park. Aw, you're sweet. Swearing, violence, and sexual content from Has-Been Hotel. Hello? Human resources? You see, there's a difference between South Park, Family Guy, and Has-Been Hotel. Both South Park and Family Guy are comedy shows. They're not meant to be taken seriously. Has-Been Hotel wants to be taken seriously, but relies way too much on edgy/shock humor for people to take it seriously. Next up, we got, another softball, another little silly meme, and most of them act like victims. You'll never understand my pain. K-pop demon hunters and whatever the DW fandom is. Huh, sorry. Has-Been Hotel, T-Cole, and Italian brain rot fandom. Italian brain rot? Who invited this guy, bro? You can tell this post was made by a child. No one over the age of 15 would mention the Italian brain rot fandom unless they were incredibly terminally online. I mean, I didn't even know there was an Italian brain rot fandom in the first place, man. Alright, we got something that's not a meme. Thank God, I was getting tired of those. Swearing isn't mature. Okay then, I guess we should put swearing in kids shows then. Oh, my bad, I said swearing instead of swearing. The little spelling mistake at the front. I just want to point out that a tactic Antis uses to say swearing is immature, so I wonder, who doesn't Who doesn't they say fuck in a bunch of Teletubbies? Why doesn't Pinky Winky go around saying bitch, shit, and fuck a bunch? Because it's children's shows. Yeah, but children are immature. Swearing is apparently immature, so why would not mix them by your logic? Hell, that would make more sense. Hell, why not show Smiling Friends, Rick and Morty, or other adults animated shows? Wouldn't they all classify as immature then? Yeah, the guy who made this was either really angry, or, once again, a literal child. Okay, the difference between Has-Been and other adult animated shows is that the other shows don't really rely on swearing the way Has-Been does. Smiling Friends is very conservative with the way they use swears, and Rick and Morty uses it in moderation. With Has-Been, the characters swear all the time. Like, it doesn't sound like a normal conversation. Instead, it sounds like I'm back in middle school.
Swearing doesn't make you cool.
Anyways, I think that's going to be the end of today's video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. All that great stuff. Be sure to become a channel member, and be sure to join my Discord, link in the description. Comment of the week status goes to Shrumley, who says, somewhat face reveal, because there was a live-action Snowbrix segment in the video last week. You should go watch it. And on that note, I'll see you guys all later. I'm out. Peace. Oh boy, ladies and gentlemen, you know, my Has-Been Hotel fandom video was meant to be a sort of one-off topic, you know, before moving on, but I decided to revisit this because, number one, the video got pretty good views, and number two, there's a post about me on crazy-ass Has-Been haters, so I'm back with a vendetta, and without further ado, let's get into the video.
Jiggle fuckle chicken, supple jiggle bang.
Now, let's just talk about a couple disclaimers before we get into the main, content. Number one, I don't think every single Has-Been fan is annoying and cringe. Most people who watch Has-Been Hotel, chill people, alright? Y'all are cool. My issue is with people who watch the show and then go out of their way to whine and complain when people don't think that Has-Been Hotel is the greatest piece of entertainment of all time. And number two, my issue isn't with the Has-Been Hotel show, my issue is with the Has-Been Hotel fans that I described earlier. Now, I'm not gonna sit here and say that Has-Been Hotel is the worst thing to ever exist, alright? But it's not perfect. And my issue isn't with the fact that the show isn't perfect. No show is perfect. My issue isn't with the show not being perfect. My issue is with the fans who pretend like the show is perfect and then will treat it like a personal attack when you don't think that the show is perfect. Anyways, now that we've gotten all the disclaimers out of the way, I figured what better way to start off this video than with my own post. Well, not my own post, the post about me on the Crazy Ass Has-Been Hater subreddit, because apparently I'm a crazy ass has-been hater. Now, I don't think whoever made this post is a native English speaker, because if you look closely, alright, all the major stats for my YouTube video is in Spanish, so I don't think this guy's a native English speaker. I'm not gonna make fun of him for his shitty grammar. And it all kind of starts to go downhill in the Reddit comments section. He starts off by saying, the video is shit, by the way. He calls every fan's pussy. I think he meant to say every fan. And then this guy says, for what reason? That's a random jab at the has-been community. And then the other guy, the original poster, he says, that I said, to make a has-been fan angry, you just have to make a joke and they'll take offense. Now, that's a misinterpretation of what I said, further amplified by OP's poor English. I said, in order to bait a has-been fan, all you need to do is make a joke at the expense of a has-been hotel or hell of a boss, and they'll lose their minds. What I did not do is call every single has-been hotel fan a pussy, as he puts it. And because of this, my legacy in crazy-ass has-been haters has been cemented as the guy who called every single has-been hotel fan a pussy. Now this pisses me off because OP is lying and spreading hatred on the Snowbrix96 name. And what pisses me off even more is that these people are accepting OP's words as law of sorts, right? They're like, nah, do my own research? Fuck that, I'm gonna believe whatever this guy says. Alright, for example, you have this guy replying to the above comment. Alright, this guy's still on the skull emoji. That's how you know he's developmentally disabled. Alright, next up, we have, all I did was call an entire community pussies for existing and they're upset. Like, it was just a joke, bro. Wrong. I did not do that shit, bro. That's a lie. That is a lie. That is lying behavior. And you would know that this is lying activity, that this is distruthful behavior if you watched my video, because at no point do I call the entire Has-Been Hotel community's pussies for existing, bro. That is dishonest. That is distruthful. That's fake news. Fake news spread by the liberal left to discredit the base Snowbrix96. It's fake news. There was also this guy who called me a quote-unquote crying deluge of pissy rage. That's how you know this guy didn't watch my videos, because at no point did I cry, alright? I don't cry. I'm too masculine to cry. I'm too based. There was also this guy who said that the only thing he liked about my video was the 2-second jab against Limus, however you pronounce it. That's the only part he liked, and you know what? I can kind of respect that, alright? He actually watched my video and formed his opinions off of my video instead of just listening to the Reddit comment section. That's the main issue I have with this, is that these guys, they aren't watching videos and judging their opinions off the videos. They're like, one guy watches a video, says it's bad, and then like everyone else follows him. He's like, oh yeah, well this guy said it's bad, so it must be bad. And it's just like, I don't know, it's like the lemmings walking off a cliff. And there was also this person who said that there are far worse fandoms, like the Loud House, for instance. And while, yes, that's true, there are way worse fandoms than the Has-Been Hotel fandom. The Has-Been Hotel fandom is currently the object of my wrath at the moment, alright? Maybe the Loud House fandom will get its own episode later down the line, but for now, the Has-Been Hotel fandom is the object of my wrath. Alright, bro, there was also this one. Comment removed my moderator. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. And then we have my favorite comment in this entire comment thread. Not for any goofy or silly reasons, but because it's an actually independent take, right? This guy says, he gave my video a watch, and it wasn't that bad. I pointed out, you know, how Has-Been relies way too much on edgy/shock humor, but yet at the same time wants to be taken seriously, or how a lot of people in the crazy-ass Has-Been haters community don't need to call out some of the stuff that they see. And then this guy, you know, gives me a little bit of criticism, saying that they didn't like the fact that I used the clip of Morgan, the purple-haired lady, crying as an example of Has-Been Hotel fans being emotionally 14 years old. You see, in the video, alright, in the intro, I said, oh yeah, Has-Been Hotel fans are 14 years old, emotionally 14-year-old, and attracted to 14-year-olds. And this guy, I have to give respect to the commenter, because he dared to do what no one on the crazy-ass Has-Been haters community has done before. He dared to watch the video that people were complaining about, and actually base his opinion off the content of the video instead of just blindly hating about it. And honestly, bro, I respect him for that, alright? Low-key, mad respect. Now, if everyone on the crazy-ass Has-Been hater community could be like this, then we would have a utopian society. Or, hear me out, they do what's in the subreddit's name, and they actually call out people who are actually crazy-ass Has-Been haters. They call out actual crazy-ass Has-Been haters, because, there are genuinely crazy-ass Has-Been haters, right? I know I like to poke fun at the Has-Been Hotel fanbase, but there are genuinely people who just hate on the Has-Been Hotel fanbase because it's created by VivziePop, and as we all know, VivziePop is the Antichrist. They actually have a satanic cult where they eat babies and drink their blood or whatever. For example, let me show y'all some actual crazy-ass Has-Been hate that was posted on the subreddit. Amazon grooming kids with LGBT Satan cartoon Has-Been Hotel, like Disney films made by the devil. Save our children. Hashtag cancel Has-Been. Hashtag deport Madrano. Hashtag boycott Amazon. Save us, Daddy Trump. And then Trump 2024. I don't know what WWG1 WGA means. And then the QAnon Punisher logo. This is not tough, bro. This is actual crazy-ass Has-Been hate. And, sadly, posts like this are far and few in between on the crazy-ass Has-Been hater subreddit, because almost always it's someone giving justified critique of Has-Been Hotel. It's like, oh, crazy hater spotted, guys, oh, crazy hater. Oh my god, I've spent way too much time talking about my own Reddit post. Alright, let's get into the other posts on the crazy-ass Has-Been haters community. Starting off a new Reddit post, a completely different one. Am I the only one who finds it funny? Does anyone else find it sort of funny that, like, 50% of the reason why people hate Has-Been so much is because of how much swearing there is? Like, it's an adult show. What do you expect? I expect good writing. I expect something. I expect funny. I expect humor. I expect humor. That's not just swearing and sex. I expect actually good writing. Now, for some context, this was made right before Season 2 dropped. This guy says that Alistair's swearing takes away a lot of his characterization. It takes away a lot of his aura. And this guy, right, this fucking Has-Been Dingleberry says, oh, dude, Season 2 isn't even out yet. Oh, I can't believe this. Like, bro, we're pointing out issues with the trailer, not with Season 2, with The trailer, what does Season 2 have to do with any of this? Next up, we have a certified has-been hotel defender classic, deflecting any and all criticism by using the excuse that it's all homophobia, alright? We have the official Helloverse account, alright? The official one, affiliated with Amazon Prime, posting a thirst trap of the guy who commits SA. There's not really a good way for me to put this without YouTube censorship, just obliterating me. Basically, this guy commits SA, and then you have another guy saying how it's disgusting, and that they're supposed to be treating SA like a serious topic, and then you have this Reddit buffoon, this professional clown saying, oh yeah,
Twitter, we love to throw a fit over an LGBTQ plus show created by a queer woman.
Dog, the issue isn't with the fact that the show is LGBTQ. The issue isn't with the fact that Vivian Madrano is queer. The issue is with the fact that Vivian Madrano doesn't write essays seriously. They don't write it as a serious topic, alright? They're posting thirst traps of the guy who committed SA. Clearly they don't take it seriously. Another classic examples of has-been hotel fans just judging a video by the thumbnail instead of the contents of the video, right? Couldn't they wait for the last episode of Season 2 to release? You know, I've seen this video, right? I watched this, and this guy isn't a mindless hater. He's not just like one of those guys who's like, oh, Has-Been Hotel is spreading the gay Satanist agenda. He's not like an Andy Pants type of person, right? He's a chill dude, right? From what I can gather from his videos, and his criticisms of Has-Been Hotel are valid, and yet, oh, crazy hater spotted. I judge based off of the thumbnail, not the contents of the video, because I have the attention span of a fucking worm. Oh, crazy hater spotted. And now, I'm gonna end this video off on some good old-fashioned has-been hypocrisy. We got Charlie snaps and fucking kills everyone. Smiling Friends reference. And this is a genuinely good drawing, but we have a mod saying, oh yeah, this is so high quality, bro. I'm penning this. And then if you look at some of the other posts, wait a minute, it's has-been hotel characters getting killed, alright? We have this one, we have where Jason is wearing Alistair like a coat, like that one image of Thrag, and it's kind of aura, it's kind of tough. Anyways, I think that's going to be it for today's video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to become a channel member and join my Discord server, link in the description below. Comment of the week status goes to Schnickenpick. If you want comment of the week, just be the first person to comment on the video, and you'll get a shout out in the next one. Anyways, I'm going to see you guys all next week. I'm out. Peace. Oh boy, I'm back with another banger. Alright, today, I'm talking about Floraven, the D1 Freakosaurus. Now, for those who don't know, Floraven is an unemployed, racist, Roblox femboy gooner. But without further ado, let's get into the video. Okay, so right now, my information is coming from a Google Doc created by YouTuber Jay the Devil, who was the first to reach out to me about the Floraven situation. Now, I'm gonna be honest, it's not looking good for Floraven, alright? On his main channel, right, he posts Gooner content and Battleground slop, right? This is all public, right? Floraven posted this publicly, bro. Could you imagine if, like, his family see this, bro? If I posted this publicly and my family saw this, I would just kill my... But, you know, all jokes aside, Floraven's public image isn't what I'm here to discuss. I'm here to talk about what he does behind the scenes, because his behind-the-scenes behavior is genuinely disgusting. So starting off, Floraven is racist. Oh, y'all think I'm joking? Y'all think I'm joking? Nah, bro, I guarantee you, this man is moving like Prime Uncle Ruckus on Discord, of all places, you know? I'm appalled, yet not shocked that someone was being racist on Discord. And trust me, we're gonna get into his Discord behavior later, because it's not just racism on there. But for now, I'm concentrating on Floraven's thoughts on black people, and, yeah, they aren't very positive, you know? Floraven spams the N-word more than middle schoolers spamming the 6-7 meme. Listen, bro, let me tell you, Fleur is a terrible person, and he low-key kinda deserves to be deplatformed, right? This isn't a case of just, you know, some edgy jokes being taken out of context. He's just saying the N-word. Hard R, I might add. There is no possible, conceivable defense for this behavior. Now, remember when I talked about Floraven's Discord behavior as a whole? This man is an entire menace, and not the good way. You can basically get away with bloody murder on his Discord server, so long as you don't criticize him. This guy's really cosplaying as Nicolas Maduro and the Venezuelan government. Now, I'm gonna show you just a few of the things sent in Floraven's servers. I have no idea what the image on top says. I don't know, it just says, insert thing here, we have a problem, right? The second thing is a guide on how to kill by slitting your wrist, right? And the third thing is just a made reaction image This is the thing. These are the things being sent in Floraven's Discord server. All right, give me a sec. I gotta check my notes. All right, let me see. What section's up next? Yeah, Floraven shenanigans on Discord aren't just limited to racism. Now, to be fair, Floraven is not the one posting CP in his Discord server, but he's not really taking any action to stop the individuals posting CP in his Discord server. Remember how I said that you could basically get away with bloody murder in Floraven's server so long as you don't criticize Floraven himself? That applies to this situation. People post CP art in his server way too often for comfort, and Fleur and his mods basically do nothing to stop it unless their hands are forced. Now here's the interesting and juicy part. This is apparently against the law in Floraven's country. You see, Floraven is French, fucking loser, and this violates the SREN law. France's SREN law is a law passed in 2024 that improves online security. Its main goal is to protect users, namely minors, from threats like harassment and pornography exposure. Basically, it's a less Orwellian version of Britain's Online Safety Act, and this could be trouble for Floraven because he could be held legally responsible for the distribution of CP to minors, since he's the owner of the server and he's taken absolutely no action to prevent this shaboingery from happening. Like, bro, someone posted content of Miku, bruh. Not Hatsune Miku. What did Miku do? Miku doesn't deserve this, bruh. Miku would hate you, bruh. Miku would be disappointed in you. Now, that being said, the chances of Floraven actually facing legal repercussions for this are extremely low. Wanna know why? Because Floraven lives in France, and most of Floraven's detractors live in the United States. Now, I know that for most of history, the US and France have had a pretty strong relationship since the American Revolution, but I don't speak French, and neither do many of Floraven's detractors, so I can't really report him. And on top of that, I'm assuming this would be a thing handled by the local police, not the state police or the federal police, and I don't know where he lives. Oh yeah, speaking of people's residences, some guy got doxxed in Floraven's server, and as you can guess, Floraven did nothing about it, bruh. Oh yeah, speaking of unsavory persons in Floraven's server, there's a groomer in Floraven's server, right? There's a guy named Unlucky, and as you can see right here, he's grooming a 14-year-old named Zero. The guy, Lucky, he's saying like, oh, Zero, if you hadn't found me, I would have killed myself. Actually, I plan on doing that if you don't stay with me. Keep in mind, this guy's still active within Floraven's Discord server. Now, I think it's best if we talk about the last section of this video, Floraven's associates, and trust me when I say, they're just as bad, if not worse than Fleur himself is. Namely, I'm talking about someone named Ryu, a Division 1 Diddy Blood defender of Fleur and his behavior. They are fully aware of what Fleur is doing, and what Fleur has done, and they're still choosing to defend him. You see, Ryu is sort of a mysterious figure within Floraven's community. No one knows the age or nationality of Ryu. All we know is that Ryu is female, and that they will defend Fleur until their dying breath. They are Floraven's greatest soldier, hands down, the D1 Diddy Blood defender. Now, you might think, why would someone knowingly associate themselves with a terrible person like Floraven? You know, someone who is racist and allows groomers and CP to be posted in their Discord server. Well, remember how I said Ryu is just as bad, if not more, problematic than Fleur? Well, that comes in here because Ryu is a Roblox condo developer. Oh yeah, that's right, Ryu develops sex games on the children's Lego block game. You cannot make this stuff up, bro. And then Ryu has the gall, the nerve, the stones to defend her actions, saying it's the fault of the parents who should control what their kids have access to online. Yeah, it's the parents' job to protect their kids from people like you. So, in conclusion, Floraven is a racist French Roblox femboy who allows groomers, gooners, doxers, and CP to be posted in their Discord server. They associate themselves with people like Ryu, who create Roblox condo games and defend Fleur like their life depends on it. Fleur also publicly posts Roblox goon content and Battlegrounds unedited slop. And to top this all off, Floraven banned Jayville from his server and deleted all his messages for no reason. Anyways, that's going to be the end of today's video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, do all that beautiful stuff. Be sure to join my Discord server, link in the description, and be sure to become a channel member. Link, actually no, that's just on my channel, right? In the description, there will be links to my Discord server, already said that, Jville, his channel, and the document he's made, along with Upside, because he's also been, you know, a part of the anti-Flaraven movement. Comment of the week status goes to Mr. Delulu016, who says, I saw the video title, and I'm literally about to punch something, alright? Because, last video, I was talking about ranting for vengeance, and if you know anything about ranting for vengeance, you would know this is a pretty valid reaction, in my opinion. Anyways, that's enough yipping and yammering for me, and I'll see you guys all next week. I'm out. Peace.
Jiggle fuck with chicken, supple jiggle bang, been jiggle fuck with Ermin for a while, jiggle tang.
Hey, this video was suggested by someone in my Discord. If you have a topic that you want me to talk about, make sure to join my Discord server, link in the description, and I will talk about it at one point or another. Now that that's been cleared up, right, I have a very interesting person to talk about today, a very interesting specimen, a person named Harmon Smith. You see, Harmon Smith is an interesting fellow. He's a Nintendo dick sucker. He's just sucking on that Nintendo, alright? And he's also a bit of a racist, but, you know, we're just not gonna get into that. That's not important. Now, let me give you a little bit of a backstory on our friend Harmon Smith. He's anti-woke, but not an anti-woke grifter. This is because he actually believes in what he's saying, and he's not just trying to make money off of people. No. He actually believes in what he's saying, unlike all those other chuds, right? Fucking Andy Pants, Synthetic Man, ranting for vengeance. Unlike you guys, our friend Harmon Smith actually believes in what he's saying. He stands up for what he believes in, and what he believes in is women not having rights. Now, when you look at Harmon Smith's Twitter, he has a few very interesting takes. I mean, he thinks Hitler was based. He wants to take away women's rights. He called a Japanese person with dark skin a mongrel, and he just straight up says the N-word. Now, I know some moron's gonna come in and say,
But Snowbrix, he said it with a soft A.
now, alright, this is my opinion, alright? Call me woke, alright? Call me super woke. Call me the super woke soy man of the left. But under no circumstances should a white man be saying the N-word, alright? Once again, call me woke, alright? Call me super woke. Call me the world's finest SJW. But under no circumstances should a white man be saying the N-word. Oh yeah, and I also forgot to mention that he said this to a female army veteran. However, Harmon's Twitter behavior isn't what I'm here to talk about. You see, when I was looking through his channel to see if it was worth talking about, I saw one video that caught my eye. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Asmongold exposes himself as a leftist shill. I've never seen a worse YouTube video in my entire life. I've never a worse anti-woke video in my entire life, because, oh my goodness, this is trash. But I'm not going to waste any more of your time. Let's get right into it.
I've long said that a lot of these right-wing figures on Twitter, YouTube, these streamers, a lot of them are complete plebs, imposters, and are basically in it for a paycheck.
Right off the bat, we have a surprisingly intelligent take from Harmon. Most YouTubers in the anti-woke space aren't doing it because they believe in their mission of getting rid of women and black people and gay people in media. They're doing it because the anti-woke grift makes lots and lots of money. I mean, if you look at Andy Pants and Synthetic Man's old gaming content before they became anti-SJW and anti-woke and based and red-pilled and masculine and not like the other girls, they uploaded just normal gaming videos. Then they uploaded one anti-woke video and it popped off, and it's all they are now.
They're in it for the views, and I think there are no better examples of this than Asmongold, and this is a very good example as to why.
Okay, Harmon Smith, you have my attention. You think Asmongold is just another grifter, another stupid dum-dum head who's in it for the money, right? Go ahead, take the floor. I sure hope you don't completely ruin this with a completely idiotic take.
LGBT is mostly fine. You're right. Trans is the main issue that people have a problem with.
Wrong, completely and totally wrong.
Oh boy, Harmon Smith, you sure have me captivated. I sure hope you keep that captivation going and don't ruin it by saying anything stupid.
Nobody likes any of these people. This is completely and utterly delusional. This is completely out of touch. This is not based in red pill. This is the complete polar opposite of based.
Oh yeah, guys, it's out of touch. It's a cope to say that, oh yeah, people don't really have a problem with gays existing, alright? Can you believe this guy? Get a load of Asmongold over there, alright? I don't even agree, me personally, alright? This is actual bricks. This is actual Snowbrix96 cutting in for a second, alright? Me personally, I don't even like Asmongold. I don't really agree with him with his takes on trans people right here. But that being said, Harmon Smith's is way worse. Oh yeah, people don't like gay. Oh yeah, we don't like the queers. We don't like the gays. Alright, I don't know what it is. Alright, this is another thing. This is a little side tangent. I don't know what it is with people like Harmon Smith and Andy Pants and Synthetic Man, but they'll never say gay people or black people or trans people. They'll always say the gays or the blacks or the trans. It's like a weird thing that I've picked up on.
Completely and totally wrong. And this has been a cope for a long, long time. I've been seeing people try and say this for a long time, specifically like saying there's an issue with Troon specifically.
Okay, now he's just not even fucking hiding it, bro. He's just saying a slur. And this isn't the first time our friend Harmon Smith has used a slur on YouTube before, alright? In one of his Warhammer 40k videos where he's just trashing the series like he does with anything that's not Nintendo, he says that Warhammer 40k is for, quote, cucks and maggots, but replace the M in maggots with F.
Warhammer 40k is for cucks.
See what I mean? This isn't the first time that our friend Harmon Smith has expressed his dislike of the LGBTQ community.
But this is not the case.
That is the main issue. It's not gay. It's certainly not bi. And
Gee, I wonder why you like bisexuals. It's just like...
absolutely not lesbians. It's trans.
Once again, I don't agree with what Asmongold is saying about trans people. That being said, Harmon Smith's opinions are so much worse, right? They're so infinitely worse that I'm being essentially forced at gunpoint to defend Asmongold here. Alright? I don't even like Asmongold. I've said that like 5 times. But I just need you guys to understand that I'm not an Asmongold fan. I'm not a fucking Asmongold fanboy. He's like, oh, just because he doesn't shower and is a fucking gross piece of shit. Like, nah, bro, I'm not one of those glazers like that. But Harmon Smith is just so trash. He's so bad, bro. Hey, all my Nintendo fans out there, right? Harmon Smith is a Nintendo glazer, right? I gotta ask, is he a part of the community or nah? Do y'all accept him or not? Is he just like a lol cow?
So yeah. So it's a lesbian fetish. What a douchebag. Oh, I don't have any problem with bisexual women or lesbians. Oh, I have sex with them all the time. Shut up, Asmongold, you piece.
Where did this guy come to this conclusion? Oh yeah, I don't think lesbians and bisexuals are a problem. Oh, so you must have sex with them all the time. You must be fucking I don't know, you must be something! You must be something that's part of the LGBT community. I don't know, man. At least Asmongold is having sex. Let's be honest with ourselves. Do we think Harmon Smith is getting any coochie? Do we think that he's getting the ladies? Do we think all the ladies are coming home with Harmon Smith from the bar?
The hostility, all of the negativity comes from. Yes, and trans should not be involved with LGBT. There should not be an LGBT. LGBT. It should just.
There isn't really a gay community in general. Like,
oh yeah, guys, the gay community, it doesn't exist. The LGBT community doesn't exist. Why? Because Harmon Smith said so. Right? I wonder how Harmon Smith became so knowledgeable on the LGBT community. I wonder how he did that.
Like, they don't really interact with each other all that much. They don't like each other. It's just like it's kind of shocking, like seeing how like the community intermingles with each other. Like, they're not really all that similar. Like, gay culture is not very similar to lesbian culture. And
so what you're saying is, there's a gay civil war. There's an underground civil war between the homosexuals, the transgenders, the bisexuals. There's an undergoing civil war between the genders and the sexualities in the LGBT community. Hey, all my LGBT people, alright, tell me. All my alphabet people, tell me, is this true? Is there an ongoing civil war in the LGBT community? Because that would low-key be a fire video.
And so forth, right? Like, so, like, the community is and always has been a meme. And that's something that, like, Asmongold, being out of touch, being a fucking, like, disgusting centrist, really needs to understand. Like, he's a shill.
Nintendo shill calls right-wing shill leftist shill. You can't make this shit up, bro. You can't script this.
Like, that's the reality of this. That's the purpose of these AstroTurf personalities, is to try and normalize this kind of thinking.
What do you mean by this kind of thinking? What do you mean by that? Explain yourself. What do you mean by that? What do you mean when you say this kind of thinking? Explain yourself. Explain yourself further. I'm interested. What's your explanation for that?
That there's nothing wrong with the woke culture of 10 years ago. And I suppose that kind of defines a lot of the big figures on the online right now. People like this, people like Grums, like, oh man, things used to be good in the 2010s, the 2000s, the 90s, the 80s. Like, no, actually, these problems have been going on for a very, 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 very long time. And to this day, nobody wants to admit it, like what the problem actually is.
And what is the problem? Or what are the problems, plural, right? What are they specifically? Tell me, Harmon Smith, what are they? What are the problems?
The LGB. Trans is how you see yourself. Bisexual, being gay, being a lesbian is how you see us.
It's not even true, because, like, Troons want, like, other people to accept them.
Oh yeah, guys, trans people. They want acceptance. Can you believe that, guys? That's so not based in red-pilled and masculine. Unlike me, I'm very based in red-pilled and masculine.
To accept their identity. It doesn't happen, ever, under any circumstances.
Oh yeah, guys, transgender people, they just don't exist. They just don't get accepted. Source, my asshole. Alright, now this is a direct message to all my gays, all my lesbians, all my bisexuals, really anyone who's a member of the Alphabet Squad, alright? Please tell me, does the community exist? Is there an ongoing civil war? Have you been accepted by your parents?
That's their statement. So this idea that it's just a personal identity is retarded. Like, it just is. Especially because, like, your identity is not a personal thing. It's how other people view you. That doesn't make any sense.
Being trans is not a sexuality. All three of the other ones are sexualities.
Yes, it is. It's a fetish.
Okay, John Reddit, and what makes you the expert on trans people? Alright, once again, how did you know that? How could you become aware of this information? How could you become enlightened, Harmon Smith? How could you gain this knowledge of transgender people and gay people? How could you gain this knowledge of the LGBTQ community?
Like, the reason why M to F is so notorious is because dudes want to LARP as lesbians. They've been watching too much porn, and that's what they want to do with themselves. Like, that's the truth behind, like, the trans phenomenon. It's just fetishizing lesbians.
Don't even joke, lad. Hey, yo, chat, is this real? Alright, once again, a call to all my alphabet people out there. Is this real, right? Is this real? Israel? Israel! I love Israel! I love Israel so much! I love Israel!
Asmongold is one step away from becoming a troon.
Jiggle fuck with you again.
It's that simple. Yeah, trans is a big problem. Well, I don't know about being a big problem. I don't think it's a big problem.
If you look close enough, you can see Harmon Smith's man boobs poking through his shirt. This is a reference to the fact that he's an incredibly obese redditor with a receding hairline who spends all his days sucking Nintendo's dick and complaining about gay people.
Problem. What I'm saying is, like, the trans issues are... They're
Wait,
much
did
more...
you just say...
Problem. I don't think it's a big problem.
What did you say?
Yeah, trans is a big problem. Well, I don't know about being a big problem. I don't think it's a big problem. What I'm saying is, like, the trans issues are... They're much more divisive, and they're much more... like, people have, like, much stronger feelings on the trans issues than they do about gay issues.
Wrong. People were successfully gaslit into thinking that gays were normal people.
Gaslit into thinking gays were real people. Gaslit into thinking gays were actual people. My bad. Alright, my fault, bro. I got it wrong. I got your fucking Reddit phrase wrong, right? That's such a Reddit phrase, bro. Gaslit into thinking gays were real people. That's just something that I would see on the that just feels like something I would see on the subreddit, bro. Like, oh yeah, you were gaslit by the government and society into thinking that gays were real people. But they're not. You want to know why? Because they kiss men.
Because of how they were presented on TV and movies for the past 60 years. Okay, it's not an accurate like representation of saying people are okay with them is completely and totally wrong.
Once again, bro, we're just lying now, alright? All my gays, right? All my gays, all my lesbians, all my transgenders, all my bisexuals. I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Because the reality is, people don't like them. They are put off by them. They distance themselves from them immediately. Like, it's not a common thing to accept the LGBT community.
You see, our friend Harmon Smith here, actually no, not our friend, fuck this guy. You see, Harmon Smith here thinks that he's the voice of the people. He thinks that he speaks for everyone when he says,
Actually, the gay community is not accepted.
when in reality, you see, me personally, and I'm sure most other people, I don't give a fuck. I don't care who you enjoy the companionship of, so long as you're not related to them and they're capable of consenting, right? But hey, is Harmon Smith right? Let me know in the comment section, right? Does modern society secretly have a burning passion actually no, not a burning passion, a burning hatred of the gays, right? Does society hate the gays? Do we hate the gays? Do we hate them?
And this out of touch streamer thinks it's perfectly okay.
Oh yeah, guys, this out-of-touch streamer thinks that it's perfectly okay to accept gay people when we all know it's not, alright? That's not a very based and red-pilled take of you, Asmongold, if that even is your real name.
Because, you know, all of his leftist friends think so.
Or something like that. Obviously, there's some people that don't like any of it, but in a general sense, I think that's what's going on. Are we really backtracking in history? Yeah, clearly that's what's happening.
So yeah, so what's actually happening is that more people are learning that they've been lied to about these communities and about these groups of people for years, you know.
Bro, what do you mean lied to, alright? Oh yeah, you've been lied to. You've been told that gays, they're just like you and me, they just love someone different. But they're not! They're actually a government psyop sent to make you hate God and Israel. Israel! I love Israel! I love Israel so much! I love Israel!
People like me have grown to hate the LGBT community for the past 20 years after being told, you know, by everyone around us that it's perfectly normal and natural. And eventually, you know, if you're smart, if you're capable, if you have a strong moral compass, you realize that none of that is true at all.
Listen, man, I don't get why Ranting for Vengeance has like this huge thing against gay people when he's been sucking on that Nintendo dick for his entire internet career, right? This guy's entire digital footprint outside of racism is just him just glazing Nintendo, bro.
And it's kind of shocking seeing like other people, you know, who were just as ingrained into the system as I was, like start to reject the Matrix, you know. Start to like wake up to how the LGBT community is actively destroying families, communities, cities, you know, local governments. Like, it is a legit problem.
Okay, bro, genuinely, how the fuck are gay people doing this? Like, how are gay people destroying your government? How are gay people destroying your life? How are gay people doing this, right? Genuinely, how is the LGBT community doing any of this at all? I'm so confused because this is so dumb. Like, this is genuinely so stupid. How are gay people destroying families? How are they destroying governments? How are they doing all these things that Harmon Smith claims they're doing?
It does cause real problems.
Okay, bro, like what are those problems? Because so far you've not provided any evidence whatsoever of anything of that sort, right? Genuinely, right? Genuinely, what are the problems, right? Because you say gays are ruining cities, they're ruining governments, they're ruining families, right? But how are they doing this, right? How are they doing this? How is this happening, right? I want proof. I want detailed proof of this happening, because it just sounds like you're fucking lying.
And people like this who just want to coom over like lesbians or whatever, like they can't bring themselves to admit it because, you know, that would fly in the face of everything they believe in. You know, it's just a reoccurring problem with these people.
Oh yeah, guys, it's a reoccurring problem. That they're not deeply homophobic like me. It's a reoccurring problem. On a real note, I'm glad this video is finally over. It's like 9 o'clock at night when I'm recording this, so it's kind of late, and I'm definitely a little bit tired, so if I seem a little out of it, that's probably why. Anyways, now that the video is over, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to become a channel member, and join my Discord, link in the description. Like I said in the beginning, I got this topic from my Discord server, and if you just have something that you want to talk to me about, or you just want to talk to me in general, because I am pretty active on there, then be sure to join that, link in the description. Comment of the week status goes to Joshua Olsen Cook. If you want comment of the week, all you have to do is be the first person to comment on this video, and you'll get a shout out in the next one. And with that all being said, I'm out. Peace. So, ladies and gentlemen, it appears that YouTube is about to drop their worst update yet. Now, you might be thinking, right, what is this worst update, right? Because, YouTube has made some real stinkers in the past. They've made some poor decisions, but for most of it, the YouTube platform has, remained intact. There's been some public discourse, but other than that, nothing really happened. Well, I guarantee you, everything's going to change with this new update, right? That's not an exaggeration. Everyone on YouTube will most likely be affected by this. But before we get into this, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, alright? Just give this video a little boost in the algorithm to raise awareness about what's going to be happening on YouTube. And without further ado, let's get into the video.
In the beginning.
So, this all really started when the United Kingdom decided to pass the Online Safety Act, to protect the children. And what it's supposed to do, according to the rules outlined to the public, is it was supposed to protect children and require age verification for pornography websites, which, on paper, sounds good, right? You think that would sound good. You think that would be good, right? You think this would be a net positive for society, right? We can't let kids access pornography. That's bad. However, it appears the people of the United Kingdom were catfished, right? They were catfished, unfortunately, because so far, this bill has essentially been used to turn the United Kingdom into, Oceania from 1984, right? That's the best way I can describe it, because you need a government ID, you need to use that to sign up for basically everything, not just porn, right? Websites like Twitter, Discord, Spotify, YouTube, they all need age verification in one way or another. Now, not only is this a massive invasion of privacy, but there have been a few conspiracy theories on why the United Kingdom is doing this, right? Number one, right, is that they're testing the waters so that other governments can start doing this too. And number two is so that they can monitor anti-government speech happening online, alright? For example, if someone highlights a wrongdoing that the government did, they can, find that guy's IP address and blow up his house or something. Whatever. Basically, the two main theories is that A, they're trying to consolidate power and make sure that people are saying only nice things about the government online, and B, they're testing it out for other governments. So now that you've been given the ChatGPT Cliff Notes version of what's been happening recently, now we can get into where we are at today with YouTube's new update.
We live in a society where people sit behind the screens and they talk shit.
YouTube saw how much hate the Online Safety Act was getting and said, man, I want a piece of that pie, because starting on August 13th, YouTube will be putting out a new AI age guesser bot and ignoring the stated age on your profile. Now, this is an absolutely terrible idea for many reasons, the main one being that YouTube is using AI, and when it comes to moderation, especially moderation on YouTube, the AI tends to shit the bed pretty often. For example, the YouTuber BangSnap had one of their videos flagged for child endangerment, I kid you not, child endangerment, for knocking over their microphone on accident. And yet, spam bots promoting harmful links and cryptocurrency scams are still running wild in comment sections, and this so-called cutting-edge technology and AI moderation has done absolutely nothing.
And a few minutes after that, YouTube took down another video called People Are Nasty. And the reason this one got taken down was very dumb. It was because I slammed my fist on the desk and I knocked over my microphone by accident, and I was told that I violated YouTube's child safety policy by doing this, which if you couldn't tell, doesn't really make a lot of sense. It's very obvious that YouTube's AI fucked up here, but nobody at YouTube stepped in to fix it until now. And then
So yeah, as you can see, YouTube's AI shit the bed pretty fucking hard, and they're using this quote-unquote cutting-edge technology to generate an AI profile of you and see if you're actually an adult or 3 kids in a trench coat pretending to be one. Now, people have said that this is bad because this will most likely target communities of people who make videos on subjects that are usually considered childish, you know, like video games, cartoons, anime, comic books, and just animation in general, etc., etc. And I guarantee you, this is going to fuck over so many creators, especially gaming creators, right? And I guarantee you that if Mr. Beast or Sniper Wolf or Markiplier or Jacksepticeye or any other big content creator gets hit with this and starts causing a stink, YouTube will backpedal incredibly hard, because that seems to be the only way that they'll respond to criticism, is if their big creators call them out on this, and even then, half the time they don't even respond. Now here's the real goddamn kicker. If you're an adult and you have been flagged by YouTube's shitty moderation, then you have to either provide a government ID or let them scan your face to prove that you're adult. So let me get this straight. Not only is YouTube trying to police what you watch, they're basically just doing it so that they can farm data off of people and probably sell it, right? They're probably doing this so that they can sell data to sell data to shady actors. This is exactly what George Orwell warned us about, people. The signs are there. Listen to them. And as one can expect, people are very, very pissed off at YouTube. I have seen countless videos on this new update, and not one of them has been positive towards it at all. I haven't seen this many people angry at YouTube since they removed dislikes. And YouTube, being the bunch of money-grubbing corporate shills that they are, have, in classic YouTube fashion, not listened to the community at all, and are going through with this update. In fact, YouTube, I have a little message for you. Hate. Let me tell you how much I've come to hate you since I saw your update. There are 7 billion atoms that fill my body. If the word hate was engraved on each nanoangstrom of those billions of miles, it would not equal 1/1 billionth of the hate I feel for the corporation, YouTube, at this micro instance. For you, hate. Okay, now that I've gotten it out of my system, this isn't great, right? This is very obviously a terrible decision, right? It's very obviously made to farm data off of users and just farm data off of users. Like, what else can I say, right? They're essentially just they're going to get your data. They're probably going to sell it to bad actors on the internet. I don't know, BlackRock CEO or something, right? Maybe John World, John Earth. I don't know. Anyways, that's going to be the end of today's video. Hope you all enjoyed, and before I forget, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, because I don't think Big Brother YouTube is going to be a big fan of this video in the algorithm, and just make sure that it gets out there. Comment of the week status goes to Fleshy Games, who says, "Yeezus, they squeezed all the juice out of TSB," in reference to a TSB content farm creator. Anyways, to make sure to like, subscribe, comment, all that great stuff. And remember, war is peace, freedom is slavery, ignorance is strength, 2 + 2 = 5, and glory to Big Brother. And I'll see you guys all later. I'm out. Peace. Okay, so, ladies and gentlemen, I was originally going to make this video on Clanker Slop Reddit AI stories, but one day, when I was doom scrolling to distract myself from the fact that I'm probably never gonna get a girlfriend and will most likely die alone, I came across this video, simply titled Response by Bacon Guy. And let me tell you, this has got to be the worst response I've ever seen. Okay, now it would be disingenuous of me to just jump right into the video without giving you guys some context and letting you come to your own decisions. So let me give you the Google AI summary of, what's happening and what Bacon Guy's responding to before we jump into his response.
Filthy monkey who can't even use jujutsu.
So this all started on Twitter with a post saying, when the video is so ass, you stare at the screen like this, and someone responded with this video of Bacon Guy.
Why won't I watch Nimona? I've talked a lot about Netflix's great animated movies recently, and you guys in the comments have been suggesting one movie more than any other. Nimona, a film about a shapeshifter who helps a wrongfully accused knight clear his name. I gotta say though, I'm gonna skip on watching Nimona, and the reason why isn't gonna be popular, but it's because of the LGBT storyline. Let me explain before you cancel me. I don't like it when LGBT storylines or characters are put in children's media. For one, I don't think that's the kind of thing children need to be worried about, but secondly, I think parents should be the one to talk to their kids about sexual topics, not billion-dollar corporations. And when those billion-dollar corporations try, I don't want to be the guy to support them with my money or my channel. I didn't see Lightyear, Elemental, or Strange World in theaters, partially because 2 of them looked horrible, but mostly because I don't want to support this kind of children's entertainment. I feel bad sometimes even suggesting kids content with LGBT messages, even if they're as minor as Onward or Gravity Falls. I know not everyone cares about this, but I also know there's others out there that feel the same way. I'm not gonna tell you to cancel or boycott these movies. Frankly, you can make your own choices about this kind of thing. But that's the reason why I personally will skip on Nimona. Hopefully you get where I'm coming from, because those are just my thoughts. What are yours? Tell me in the comments.
So as you just saw, this guy says that he outright refuses to watch or support movies / TV shows with LGBTQ storylines. And some of these examples I found, were a little much. I mean, with Elemental, there's literally a 5-second clip of a same-sex couple when the fire girl is meeting the water dude's family. And with Gravity Falls, I honestly had no idea what I was talking about until I looked it up, and as it turns out, the 2 sheriffs, Blubbs and Durland, are actually a couple, and I honestly didn't realize this. I mean, their relationship is usually played for jokes in the show, but I had to go out of my way to find this. I mean, elementary school me didn't pick up of this, middle school me didn't pick up on this. I mean, even high school me, who has, a full concept and knowledge of what, homosexuality and LGBTQ plus stuff is, didn't register this. I mean, it barely registered in my mind. So I kind of think how weird it is that this guy's harping on LGBTQ topics being forced onto kids when some of the stuff on here I had to go out of my way to find. Anyways, now that I've given you guys the Google AI summary that was promised, let's move on to Bacon Guy's absolutely great response that everyone loved.
Wait, hold on.
A while back, I made a rather controversial video. I usually review animated movies, and I'd been getting a lot of requests to review the Netflix movie Nimona. I declined reviewing that film because of its LGBT storyline and cited the reason as, I don't think that's the kind of content that should be shown to children. At the time, it was my most controversial video ever, but that time was a while back. The channel's come a long way since then. I never quite knew what to do with that video. It was not my best work. People poked holes in most of my arguments, and many people left over it. I didn't want to remove the video to seem like I was backing down, but I also didn't want to make a clarifying follow-up video to stoke the fires of controversy even further.
Okay, while that might seem like a bit of a bad idea, I would argue against it. Waiting out controversy can sometimes be the best idea, and since the video that started all of this seemed to just be a bad take, Bacon Guy could have easily just walked away, but instead he had to respond to a tweet that I, and I'm sure a lot of other people, didn't even know existed, until Bacon Guy himself made a response to it.
I knew at some point though, it would probably be time to make some kind of response to it. Speaking of, when was the last time you checked Twitter? Yeah, someone posted that original video on Twitter and got 10 million views. Even before that though, based on Reddit threads, Wikitubia articles, and lots of different comments, it was becoming increasingly obvious that this video was what I was known for. By not posting a follow-up, I only delayed the controversy and probably made it worse.
Brother, the Reddit thread and Wikitubia articles are from 4 months ago, and once again, I didn't know them until now. If I saw the original video in a vacuum, I probably would have just left a dislike and moved on, as would have most other people. But no, let's make an entire video responding to this because someone on Twitter said something. Also, side note, what happened to cancel culture? I haven't heard of people being canceled since early 2024.
It was going to keep popping up until I talked about it, and probably even after that too. So if I have to be known for being homophobic, I'd rather it be for this video.
I think I know what he's talking about. but he's framed it really badly. He's trying to say that, you know, when you search up baking guy homophobia, you get this video of him addressing the controversy instead of the original video. But the way he said it was extremely poorly framed. Like, come on, if I'm going to be known for homophobia, I'd rather it be known for this video. Like, come on, bro, come on. You couldn't have come up with a better way to say that.
One that's not a short where I can hopefully explain myself better. My first mistake with the original video was assuming my argument could stand without bringing religion into it.
And you've lost me.
I don't know why I thought that, because at the end of the day, there's literally no reason to be against LGBT content in kids' movies unless you're religious. Why shouldn't kids know about that? Why shouldn't it be normal? To our current culture, homosexuality is just as normal and okay as any straight relationship, so why on earth would I be against two dudes holding hands when I love the straight romance Entangled?
You know, Bacon Guy poses an excellent question here, right? Why is he okay with straight romance, but not okay with LGBTQ romance? Well, let's see what his response to this is.
That was one of the biggest critiques with the original video, and my viewpoint doesn't really make sense unless I'm religious. The fact is, I am religious. I've been pretty open about my Christianity on this channel, but not the one time it really counted. So allow me to fix that here. If you've ever wondered why Christianity seems to be known for its opposition to homosexuality, it's because that's found in the Bible. There's multiple different verses that either list it or mention it as a sin, including Leviticus 18:22, 1 Corinthians 6:9-10, and 1 Timothy 9-10. Many people—
So your reasoning as to why you dislike the LGBT characters in movies is because the Bible says so. Yet Ephesians 4:32 says, quote, "Be kind to one another, tender-hearted, forgiving one another as God in Christ forgave you." Not to mention Colossians 3:12, which says for believers of Christ too, and I quote, clothe yourselves in compassion, kindness, humility, gentleness, and patience. Not to mention, sorry, I had something stuck in my throat. Not to mention Galatians 5:13, Luke 6:35, Proverbs 12:25 and 11:17, and 1 Thessalonians 5:11.
People in churches have tried to alter the passages or reinterpret them, but the reason so many Christians still consider homosexuality to be a sin is because that is the most obvious interpretation of the passages.
Maybe people are reinterpreting the Bible because they realize that homophobia is an outdated and harmful ideology, and that spreading it would do more harm than good.
You have to stretch or change scripture to get a positive Christian view of homosexuality. And if we change God's word to fit the current cultural moment, is he really the one in charge, or are we the ones in charge of God?
The Bible is about 3,400 years old. I think it's possible some things can be misinterpreted and misunderstood when it comes to translation. For example, one of the anti-gay passages in the Bible, Corinthians 6-9, was mistranslated to be against all acts of homosexuality, when in reality, it was about acts of domestic violence and exploitation.
Charge of God. So circling back around to the Nimona thing, that brings me to a question I hear all the time. Don't Christians hate gay people?
Brother, what does this have to do with Nimona? That's like a different movie reviewer going, so, circling back to Nobody 2, we're gonna be taking a look at the history of racism in the American South. Like, what does this have to do with the situation at hand?
Don't Christians hate gay people? I've heard that a lot in both real life and my own comment section, and the answer is no. Let's say you have a friend who smokes cigarettes. You know what they're doing won't end well. So do you hate them? Do you push them away because of their choices? No. You treat them like a human being. You treat them like your friend. Because they are. Now on the flip side, do you affirm them in that choice? Do you tell them that they're so strong and so brave for smoking? No. If you truly believe that what they're doing isn't right, you wouldn't be a good friend if you lied to them and told them that they were in the right, even if that would make things easy.
That's crazy, but here's the thing. Gay people still face a lot of discrimination. When it comes to hate crime statistics, sexual orientation motivated hate crime is the second biggest type of discrimination, right after racial discrimination, which is why we usually congratulate people for coming out of the closet, especially if they don't live in an area that's super PC like California or New York. Like, you don't have to worry if you're coming out of the closet in California, but like if you come out of the closet in Texas, it might be an issue. But that being said, smoking is a bad habit that can harm you and those around you. So I think making the comparison between a consensual relationship between two people and a bad habit that can result in you and people around you getting cancer, I can see why people would think that Bacon Guy is being a little bit disingenuous.
That's the weird balance Christians have to walk. You love your friends, but you don't affirm them in the things that the Bible says are sinful. That doesn't mean you have to lead every conversation with your thoughts on the matter. Do you think you'd help your friend out of smoking by nagging them about it all the time? At the end of the day, you can't make that decision for them. They have to make it themselves. You're there to love them, but not to affirm them in that choice. There are a lot of people who say they're Christians, yet they don't strike that balance. Many of them are hateful towards people who struggle with homosexuality, which I
struggle with homosexuality? Why are you talking about being gay like it's some kind of addiction, bro?
Which I think is unbiblical. The Bible is very clear that we are to be kind to others. You don't hate someone for sinning because, newsflash, you're a sinner too. You love them despite their sin because that's exactly what Jesus does for you. And so while I don't support hatred, I also don't support homosexuality. There's a difference between hating someone and disagreeing with them, and I feel like our culture often forgets that. But I want to draw your attention back to 1 Timothy 9-10 again.
While I've disagreed with Bacon Guy for most of his points, I think the one about hatred versus disagreement is so far the only good point that he's made, is what I would say if it was in reference to something else, but so far he's said that he disagrees with gay people. I'm not sure how that would work, right? So far most of his points, even the good ones, are very poorly worded in a way that makes him seem incredibly homophobic, and this just isn't good. Like, this video didn't need to be made, bro. You could have just waited for the controversy to blow over, right? I didn't even know about this until now, and I'm sure a lot of other people didn't know about this until now.
But I want to draw your attention back to 1 Timothy 9-10 again. If you read off the list of sins, sure enough, homosexuality is one of them. But do you notice the one at the end? The Bible also points out lying as a sin. And while I assume not everyone who's watching this video is homosexual, I know for a fact everyone has told a lie. So that means that, essentially, we're all in the same boat.
You know, this guy in the comments section makes a pretty good point. He says, and I quote, "So if a character tells a lie in a kid's movie, you're equally uncomfortable recommending it, right? If it's really about all sins equally, then why could you say that Ratatouille is one of Pixar's best on your channel? Remy and Linguini both lie in the film to achieve their goals. Why are you comfortable recommending that to children when it could easily make them believe that lying won't affect their chances of getting into heaven? Seems like you consider some sins to be more important than others. Remember, the Bible explicitly condemns eating shrimp and mixing the fabric of clothing. I wonder why those verses don't get as much attention from Christians."
I feel like there's churches that hone in on homosexuality being the sin to end all sins, but at the end of the day, it's a sin. Yes, it is a sin, but it's a sin, not the sin. The Bible makes it clear in the book of Romans that all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. So what does that mean, and where does that leave us? Jesus talked a lot about the afterlife and the future, and made it clear that when we die, there's one of two places we can go. We either end up in heaven, a place of eternal joy and peace, or we end up in hell, a place of eternal pain and suffering. And a lot of people think, well, I'm not a bad person, surely there's no way I could end up in hell. The bad news is the Bible says that the wages of sin is death. It doesn't matter if you're gay, trans, straight, any of those labels. The Bible is clear. Because every single person has sinned, every single person deserves to go to hell. God is holy and perfect, so how could he ever let something that isn't holy and perfect into his perfect heaven? That's where the good news starts. That's what Jesus was for. I don't know how much you know about Jesus. Everyone seems to have a different view of him. Maybe he was a good person, or a good teacher, or a fraud, or he never even existed. Well, the Bible makes it clear that Jesus is the Son of God, and he came to earth with a mission. If you do know about Jesus, you know he died on a cross. I mentioned earlier that every person ever has sinned, but Jesus was the exception. The Bible says he was fully man and fully God, and he died on the cross as a sacrifice for our sins. But what does that phrase even mean? The Bible says that if anyone follows Jesus' teachings and asks him to forgive their sins, they will be saved. If you're a Christian, when you die, God doesn't see all the sin you committed in your life. Instead, he sees the perfect life that Jesus lived, and because you place your faith and trust in him, God lets you into heaven. As you may know, Jesus didn't stay dead. He rose from the dead 3 days later, defeating death and proving once and for all that he was indeed the Son of God. This is the most important part of this video. I'll be covering more than a Mona video and a drama in a minute, but if you leave this video with one thing, I want it to be a call to Jesus. You don't get into heaven by being a good person, or going to church, or giving money to the church, or having Christian family members. You're not born automatically saved. It is a personal choice between you and God. But how does that even work? There's one thing I learned in church as a kid that still holds up to this day. Some of you Christians out there might know what I'm about to talk about. These are what we call the ABCs of salvation. A. You admit to God that you're a sinner and you repent. Repentance is when you turn away from doing something. Think of it as a U-turn away from whatever sin is in your life and towards God. But it's not just turning away. You feel sorry for the things you've done and you ask God for genuine forgiveness. B. You believe that Jesus died on the cross for your sins and rose again from the dead. There's nothing we can do to save ourselves because we are sinful and fallen creatures. The only way we can be saved is by placing our faith in Jesus and his ability to forgive us of our sins. And C. You commit your life to following him. That doesn't mean you stop sinning. Goodness knows it ain't that easy. But God will help you fight the sin in your life so you can follow him. Only by following Jesus can we be saved and enter the kingdom of heaven. Like I said, this is more important than anything else. Those are the basics of the Christian faith, but there's so much more. So I'll link some other YouTube channels and helpful material in the description. And so that's
the reason why this section of the video is sped up is because it's literally just a Bible camp lesson. He talks about the history of Christianity and how we should all repent for our sins and whatever. It's a very long and unnecessary section of the video.
And so that's a very long way to lead around to the second problem in my Navona video. I referred to LGBT content as sexual content. That caused a lot of people to assume I saw moments like two guys holding hands, and in my mind I instantly jumped to gay sex, which was not what I meant at all. Because the Bible says homosexuality is a sin, it's not something I would want to show to children in a positive light. And that's the point I tried communicating that I think was communicated rather poorly. Like content that is sexual in nature, I think it's something parents should teach their children about, not movie studios like Disney or Netflix.
Alright, Bacon Guy, I see where you're coming from. I also believe parents should be the ones who have conversations with their kid about LGBTQ topics, right? Okay, Bacon Guy made an actually good point. Let's hope that he doesn't mess this up.
Not all parents are gonna teach that homosexuality is a sin.
And once again, you've lost me.
Gonna teach that homosexuality is a sin, and while I personally disagree with that, that is the parent's choice. Again, without a biblical foundation, and thanks to my pretty bad choice of words, the point I was trying to make feels off because there's no reason to think that way.
Alright, bro, maybe I'm the softie, alright? Maybe I'm the snowflake, the liberal, the moron. Maybe I'm the one in the wrong here. But even with the biblical foundation, this point still feels off, right? Like, it just doesn't feel right to me.
The other point I've seen is, why make that video in the first place if I knew it was just gonna stoke controversy? At the time, I felt like there was a big push for me to watch Nimona, and I guess I thought my reasoning would be understandable. Again, it wasn't very clear because it had no religious basis.
Listen, bro, the problem here isn't you poorly communicating your points. Your points are, quote, homosexuality is a sin, end quote, right? And then, as that guy pointed out, if all sins are equal, then you have no problem pointing out movies with other sins in them. For example, lying, like we saw earlier. So, alright, it's either one or the other. Either homosexuality is a worse sin than the others, or all sins are equal and you're just being homophobic.
The fact is, I didn't need to make that video.
Finally, something we can agree on. Goddamn, took you only, what, 8 minutes into your 11-minute long video?
But I did make that video. That's the main reason I went into such religious detail in this one. If this is what my channel has to be known for, I'd rather it be for the right reasons than for reasons I didn't communicate well. One other thing I've been asked is, where's that line? I say I won't support Nimona, but I'm a huge supporter of Win or Lose, Spider-Verse 2, and Celeste, all of which have trans flags or storylines. So why am I okay with those, but not the one tiny mention of the cops in Gravity Falls being gay? My line is, would a child who's unfamiliar with anything LGBT pick up on it? I don't think they would in any of those 3 examples.
Now listen, bro, I don't know about you, but when I was like 8 or 9, I didn't really understand the concept of homosexuality and LGBTQ plus identity, and when I watched Gravity Falls, I wasn't like, oh my goodness, those cops are homosexual. No, I gotta be honest, I wasn't really sentient for that part of my life.
Both Celeste and Spider-Verse 2 have trans flags, but not only are they pretty out of view, if you don't know what transgenderism is, then the flag's not going to mean anything to you. Win or Lose is a bit more complicated. Originally, it had a pretty overt trans storyline, and even though Disney removed it, many people say you can still see it's a strong trans allegory.
Listen, bro, y'all can call me a media illiterate buffoon, but I could not see that trans storyline, bro. I watched that shit, and let me tell you, bro, I could not see the storyline, bro. I was like, I was very confused on where it was.
I personally didn't see that. To me, her story was just the story of a kid who desperately needed friends. She'd moved into a new neighborhood and things were hard at home, but she was able to open up and be herself when she had friends by her side. I honestly related to that a lot. I was a massive extrovert as a kid, and seeing my friends again really did feel like color coming back into a dark room. You can definitely still see it as an allegory for being trans, but I think you have to be specifically looking for that to see it. I don't think kids are gonna pick up on that.
Yeah, and it's the same deal with Gravity Falls, right? I had to specifically look up the 2 police officers in the show, and then it just says, oh yeah, they're in a gay relationship. I didn't know this, bro. I had to go out of my way, search that shit up on Google for the sake of this video, bro.
Currently, would they notice it is still the line. Things like Gravity Falls, Onward, and Elemental, which does have a non-binary character with a girlfriend, that's the only reason I referenced it in the original video, have characters and lines kids could probably pick up on. Lightyear and Strange World, on the other hand, are very in your face about it, so yeah, those are films I'm flat out never going to support with my channel. Unless I'm forgetting something, the only openly LGBT property I have supported is Apex Legends, which...
Yup, nope, we gotta crucify him. We gotta kill him, alright? There's no saving him. He's an Apex Legends fan. We gotta kill him. Get him out of here. I want him dead. Whoever can bring me the head of whatever that guy's name is, whoever can bring me the head of Bacon Man will receive $3 Jamaican and 2 pennies.
Yeah, I have no excuses for that one. That was my absolute favorite game for a long time, but it is heavily full of LGBT characters, so supporting it went against my rule. I apologize for that.
Alright, me personally, I stopped playing Apex, not for the reasons that this guy stopped playing Apex. I stopped playing because it just became microtransaction slop. Like, at that point, they weren't really focusing on fixing, like, the major issues with the game. They were busy focusing on, like, adding another $500 heirloom.
That rule shall be continuing into the future. I won't be reviewing things like The Owl House, Nimona, or even Sony's Mitchells vs. the Machines. I really enjoyed that movie when I watched it, but the LGBT plotline is a little too overt in that one for me to support with a review.
Bro, what are you talking about, right? Once again, maybe I'm the media illiterate buffoon. Maybe I'm the schizophrenic. Maybe I'm the one in the wrong. But I did not detect any LGBT storylines from that movie, right? I'm so confused.
And just like in my original Nimona video, I'm not calling for a boycott against these properties or telling you what to watch and what to skip. You can make your own decisions. This is simply where I personally draw the line for what I will review. Long story short, I don't think my original video was great. My phrasing needed work, my points lacked a biblical foundation, and I was pretty dumb for assuming I could fit a topic like that into a 1-minute video.
Listen, bro, here's the thing, right? Even with, added points and biblical foundation and, an 11-minute long video that I'm gonna have to react to, your points still suck and they're bad and people agree that they're bad. I mean, this video has 3 likes to 9,000 dislikes. Not 3 likes. 3,000 likes to 9,000 dislikes, bro. Right? Clearly, people don't like this video. And clearly, they don't like your message. So clearly, your message is the one at fault.
I also probably should have made this video before things got to this point. I've delisted the Nimona video, so hopefully people looking for the situation will find this one instead. But if you want to watch the original Nimona video, I'll have it linked in the description, and it'll always be on Twitter. I understand this will be the last Bacon Guy video for a large part of my audience. I've committed one of the cardinal sins of the internet, and then I turned around and I doubled down on it. But I hope you know, at the very least, I don't hate you. You are wonderfully made in God's image. But I'm also not going to back down from this. I will not be supporting children's content with LGBT themes because what are beliefs if you drop them the second people get mad? So this is where I leave you with the choice. I am going to continue to make content. I've been thinking about changing things up for a while, so it might not be daily shorts forever, but I'll still be here making videos. If you want to join me, you know where to find me. And if you don't, it's been a pleasure knowing you. I wish you only the best.
Yeah, fuck you, dude. You can count on me to not support you in any of your future endeavors whatsoever. Anyways, that's gonna be the end of this week's video because his video's over, meaning that I can go eat lunch now. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that great stuff. Share with someone that you think would enjoy it. Alright, make sure to join my Discord, link in the description, all that great stuff. Comments of the week status goes to my GOAT, Mr. Delulu420, who simply says first, right? If you want comment of the week, then simply be the first person to comment on this video, and I'll give you a shout out next week when the next video is uploaded, right? And now that's all been said, I'm out. Peace. Oh boy, ladies and gentlemen, everyone's least favorite comic book / movie reviewer decided to grace my For You page today with his presence. That's right, I'm talking about Ranting for Vengeance. Give it up for the Sultan of Slop himself. And oh boy, does he have quite the video for me to react to. Now, if you don't know who Ranting for Vengeance is, then he's basically the newest addition to the anti-woke grift squad. He's basically Andy Pants Gaming, but if Andy Pants Gaming looked at like comic books and superhero movies instead of video games, and he was way more obvious about not liking gay people. I mean, according to Ranting for Vengeance, Avengers Doomsday will be a woke disaster, The Batman Part 2 will be a woke disaster, and Spider-Man Brand New Day will be, you guessed it, a woke disaster. All of these movies haven't come out yet, and he's judging them for extremely arbitrary reasons. But all of these videos pale in comparison to what I call his pinnacle of garbage. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you, James Gunn is a freak who doesn't understand superhero movies. Let's hop right on in.
Fantastic Four is a flop, as I predicted in my videos before the movie even came out, and it seems that Superman is going down the same route.
I don't know what people are talking about when they say Superman 2025 was a flop, when it made around $615 million, which far surpassed its production budget of $225 million.
But an army of freaks, along with the mega handicapped freak James Gunn, are coping about it. Also, across the internet, many clips from the behind the scenes of Superman have gone viral because it's revealing James Gunn to be a massive spastic, and a lot of fans are realizing.
You know, when he said that behind the scenes clips of Superman were going viral, I thought he was gonna say that it exposed James Gunn for being like a huge douche or a creepy dude, but instead he says that he's a quote-unquote spastic and that a lot of his fans are realizing this, yet I haven't heard a single thing about James Gunn being a quote-unquote spastic.
But before we get into it, if you like these videos and you want to help out the channel, maybe consider subscribing or supporting me over on Patreon. So I've made enough goddamned videos about Superman and Fantastic Four.
Yeah, you're telling me, bro, you have like 5 separate videos on Superman, bro. Holy glazing.
But this is a video I want to make because I want to highlight the fact that James Gunn does not understand superheroes. He does not understand filmmaking. He doesn't understand Superman. He does not understand the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Clearly, ranting for vengeance is not the fan he makes himself out to be, as a big thing with superheroes is that they help people, and James Gunn's Superman does just that, with many people saying that Superman 2025 is one of the most comic accurate portrayals of Superman, right behind Richard Donner's Superman, All-Star Superman, etc., etc. Also, why did he add like a little gay flag on Star-Lord? And I don't mean gay flag as in like, oh, that's not cool, that's gay, like a middle schooler. I mean like he added like a gay pride flag on Star-Lord. He does realize that Star-Lord was in a relationship with Gamora, right?
The fact that he's at the head of DC is so retarded, it's hilarious. But before I show you the absolute state of comic book superhero fans and the behind the scenes of Superman, first of all, I just need to get it out there that I don't care what you say, I will never ever tolerate James Gunn's freaky behavior. And I'm not alone in that. You can say what you want about this movie and you can attack people who disagree with you, but the plain and simple fact is James Gunn is a freak who likes kids.
So, if you have no idea what the hell Ranting for Vengeance is talking about, allow me to enlighten you. Basically, back in the late 2000s and early 2010s, James Gunn made a lot of edgy jokes about sensitive topics such as rape, pedophilia, AIDS, 9/11, etc. These were all made on Twitter. And when these jokes were uncovered and publicized, he made a public apology about how that's not the person who he is, and how he was, a different man back then. This was before James Gunn became a household name. And because of these tweets, James Gunn was fired by Disney, but then the whole cast of Guardians of the Galaxy publicly rallied around him and said, we support him. Obviously, the jokes were in poor taste, but that's not the man who he is now. And he was eventually rehired by Disney. He made Guardians of the Galaxy 3, and it banged.
I'll never ever give up on that. I'll never get tired of saying it, because some things in life are just a plain and simple fact, and this is one of them. Not to mention that his movies are also freaky woke pieces of shit. Every single one of them. There's no defending it. I've watched most of this guy's movies. They all suck.
It's hilarious to me that Ranting for Vengeance, a guy who has made his entire identity about hating cancel culture and the woke mob, quote unquote, is doing exactly what the woke mob does, where he digs up edgy jokes that someone made in 2009 or something and tries to spin some type of narrative out of it.
They're never accurate to the characters or the comics, and he usually creates something brand new, weird and freaky for himself. And this is when we get onto Superman, where he just decided to ditch Superman and bring in some gay cock, which you already know if you manage to watch this absolute abomination.
Another thing that Ranting for Vengeance tends to do is call random characters gay. For example, he calls David Cornsweat a gay cuck, despite the fact that A, Ranting for Vengeance looks more like a cuck than anyone I've ever seen, and B, David Cornsweat mocks this greasy bastard in pretty much every conceivable way.
But the behind the scenes really gets down to the root of this garbage.
He starts saying, I don't know if I feel this. The whole crew's sitting around waiting like, come on, let's shoot, let's get this done.
So great, but the is it am I just demonstrating? So if I say that's what it is to be human, that feels like I'm trying to prove it still, as opposed to I really know it.
Okay, I'm gonna have to stop it there because already it's extremely retarded. It's unbelievably cringe that they're hyping up this moment as if it is the best thing ever made. And David Cornsweat, I don't really have anything massive against the guy, but he comes to James Gunn and immediately James Gunn is laughing in his face, doing that sneering pedo laugh.
He's laughing. The biggest reach of this video, bro. Biggest reach this entire goddamn video, right? The pedo snare. Okay, bro. Pack it up. Get out of here, bro.
There's already a terrible job at directing, where an actor comes to you and says, I don't really feel that this is what the character would do, and you laugh into their face like an absolute handicap.
Oh my god, bro. I'm pretty sure the grease in this guy's hair is seeping into his brain, right? At what point does James Gunn get up and laugh in David Cornsweat's face, bro? Did we watch the same footage? It just looks like he's smiling, he laughs a little bit, and then David Cornsweat talks to him, bro. I don't know what this guy's on about, bro. He has to be schizophrenic or something, because there's no way that we watched the same video and came to the same conclusion.
All that aside, when Cornsweat himself is actually trying to talk with him, he starts putting on this voice, which is not Superman. I don't know what it is. It's an autistic teenager that needs to stop using Adderall and TikTok.
Oh my god, bro. It's called acting, you dingleberry, right? What, was he just supposed to read off the script with a monotone voice? No inflection, no emotion, no nothing. Was he just supposed to be like, and that's what it means to be human, Lex. I am more human than you are. Like, no, the movie would have sucked then, alright? I don't get it. This guy makes these really, really weird criticisms and expects people to take him seriously.
If I say, that's what it is to be human, that's what it is to be human.
What the fuck? Really, since when is Superman some weak bitch?
You know, I never really understood that criticism of the Superman movie, that Superman is weak, because the only two times we really see Superman struggling fighting is when A, he was just exposed to kryptonite, and B, he's struggling against Ultraman, who is a literal clone of him and is said to be stronger. So the only times we see him struggling against something in a fight is A, after he was just exposed to his greatest weakness, and B, when he's literally fighting himself.
I really don't like Zack Snyder. I don't like Man of Steel, so I'm not comparing it to that.
It's gotten to a point where I genuinely can't tell what this guy wants from his superhero media, because he hates the Gunn universe, he hates the Snyder universe, he hates Absolute Batman, he hates Man of Steel, he hates Superman 2025, he hates basically everything that DC and Marvel put out, and it's gotten to the point where, like, what do you want, alright? My question is, alright, what are this guy's views on Invincible? Because anyone who likes Invincible can't be all that bad, right? I wonder what this guy's views are.
I'm comparing it to the character of Superman. I've read John Byrne's Man of Steel. I did not hear this squeaky ass voice.
Here's the thing, bro. You're basing your entire perception of a character off of one comic book series, because, you know, most people know that there's like different versions of the same character, right? You have like main Superman, Man of Steel Superman, Injustice Superman, All-Star Superman, Man, you know, etc., etc., and it just goes on and on. So basing your like entire perception of a character off of one singular version, instead of, you know, like looking at all the other characters, you know, seeing what there is to offer, is just kind of stupid, bro.
But anyways, let's continue with this dumpster fire.
Is this not the moment where I go, I was wrong to feel that way?
That's exactly where the issue is, right? Because what he didn't tell you was it was wrong to feel that way. There are feelings and there are thoughts. Your feelings about feeling bad are okay. It's not wrong for you to feel that way. You should just, it's not right or wrong anything. None of it is right or wrong. All of it is being vulnerable.
You know, I'm just gonna make a prediction here and say that Ranting for Vengeance calls this gay.
So everything is not right and wrong. What you're feeling is not right and wrong. It's also right and wrong. Whatever the fuck that means. And also, I'm just saying, if I was David Cornsweat and I make a valid criticism, why the hell am I acting like this in the movie? And your reaction is to stand up and start pushing me, I'd smash your pedo glasses back into your freaky face.
Big fella! Big fella! Sit down, big fella!
Bro, who does this kid think he is? Like, genuinely, bro. He thinks that he's like some sort of fighting god, bro. He thinks he's like one of those guys who's like, yeah, I could probably beat your ass. In fact, if I was getting jumped by like 5 guys, I would backflip over the first guy, shoe punch the second guy, then, you know, you get the point, bro. Like, this guy's one of those dudes who's like never been in a fight before, yet thinks that they could take on like the entire continent.
Really, it's not a joke. People like this, when they get too close to you and start spazzing out over feelings, probably just need to be knocked out.
Which means showing Lex that your feelings are hurt. In the point when you really shouldn't.
Okay, new prediction. He's gonna call that gay, alright? Just like the way he zoomed in on the pat on the back, I know he's gonna call it gay.
I'll just pause it again because we have a massive revelation. We know why Superman is some squeaky voiced bitch in the entire movie. Because everything from James Gunn is a self-insert. The dude does not know how to write or make movies. Superman is not Superman in this movie. It's a self-insert of James Gunn.
And you got this all from a pat on the back? What, can you read minds, bro? Can you certify that like James Gunn is a cuck and David Cornsweat is like a gay cuck or whatever?
It's my greatest strength.
Which means showing Lex that your feelings are hurt.
Crypto is not Superman's dog, it's James Gunn's dog. The kind of back and forth troubled relationship is probably like a relationship James Gunn had because he likes kids and had to break up with his wife or something. James Gunn just spat all over your face, spazzing out over feelings. And you're running out there determined that, okay, now I get it. This explains it, why the movie is absolutely terrible. It's undeniably, objectively, a terrible movie.
Really, bro? Are you sure about that? Like, are you really sure about that? Like, just to clarify, are you really sure about that?
Get scared? I wake up every morning and despite not knowing what to do, I put one foot in front of the other and I try to make the best choices I can. And every time you say that I don't belong, it hurts my feelings. That's being human. And that's my greatest strength.
So, this might be the gayest video ever created.
Listen, man, I'm not sure, but I think you and me have different measures of gayness, you know? Because when I think of gay, I think of men kissing. And last time I checked, there were no men kissing in that video, right? See what I mean? This guy reaches a lot, right? He calls like random stuff gay.
Cornsweat is doing his thing, everybody's watching, and he's just screaming and squeaking like an autistic kid.
Oh my god, bro. Can we go like 5 minutes without the autism criticism, bro? Every time I watch this guy's videos on Superman, it's always just, Superman is gay and autistic, and he's woke, and he fucking sucks, and you shouldn't watch him, bro. Like, come on, can you come up with some better criticism, bro? Like, lock in, alright? You can come up with something good.
And all James Gunn can do is sit there and literally cry. The dude is weeping like a little bitch and doing whatever the hell this is with his face.
Did we watch the same video? Like, genuinely, bro. Like, is the grease from your hair seeping into your brain? I must ask again, because there's no way that we watched the same video and you, like, saw James Gunn bursting into tears at the sight of David Cornsweat's performance because it was so terrible, bro. Like, I think James Gunn is just happy to see his version of Superman coming to life.
It couldn't be that good. I'm sorry. Did Richard Donner, back when he made Superman the movie, grab Christopher Reeve and go, it's about feelings. What you're feeling is not right or wrong. Then pat him on the back and laugh in his face. And then start weeping on the sideline like a bitch. What the hell is this video? I'm sorry, what the hell is this entire production? Calm the hell down. Hold off on the standing ovations. This is one of the worst superhero performances ever made. And now we get onto the people on the internet who are getting tens of thousands of likes, freaking out, attacking people who don't like this movie.
Please, bro, give me one example of someone being attacked because they didn't like Superman, right? Because I guarantee you at least half the people complaining, oh, I've been attacked because I don't like Superman, had like some horrifically abysmal take on Superman, like you right now, and people called them out.
This is directing. He's getting what he wants out of the actor. So let me get this straight. Crying into some dude's face about your feelings is directing. Oh.
And crying on the internet about how a movie is quote-unquote woke is commentary.
Okay, I'll take notes next time. And we have another clip here that's making the rounds. It's just filled with cringe. I'm sorry. The entire thing is more of the same.
Because I didn't make it easy for him.
There's no anger in any of this at all. There's no ego. There's a reason why he's asking these questions, because it makes it better. And David wrote me that night. He texted me. He said, that was my favorite day ever on set with a director. And I said, yeah, I think that was my favorite day too. But that was my favorite day ever on set with a director. And I said, yeah,
I don't know who did the edit on these behind the scenes videos, but they're trying to make it out to be like an epic movie.
That's why it was an epic movie, you dingleberry, right? Why do you think the critic reviews are so high? Why do you think the movie got so much money? It wasn't because the movie was bad, I'll tell you that.
And you watch that scene where he gives the speech about hope and how he's human and how his feelings are hurt. It all gets interrupted when some little gay dog runs in and knocks over the villain. I don't give a rat's ass about some cute little dog. Superman is in the defining moment of his character and the movie, and he's failing at that also. And the takeaway for the queers here on Twitter is that you're just misinterpreting basic human interactions because you don't go outside and you don't talk to people.
Brother, you are the last person to talk about social interaction and going outside, right? You look like a nerdy vampire.
It's always attacking the person and not the argument, because the argument in both clips still stands. James Gunn is an egotistical, narcissistic freak.
Yeah, and your argument for these claims is that he patted someone on the back and that he talked to one of the actors with a little bit of passion in his voice.
All you can do is ignore the criticism, the truth, and start attacking people for not knowing about basic social human interactions.
James Gunn talked to an actor with emotion in his voice and patted him on the back, and somehow, because of all of this, he's some sort of egotistical freak, in your words, right? He is an egotistical freak because he talked to an actor with emotion in his voice and patted him on the back. Does that make you an egotistical freak because you're talking with a lot of emotion right now?
Shove it up your ass.
Hey, yo, self-projecting much?
You have another...
Alright, he's gonna call them autistic, gay, or spastic. I'm calling it right now, bro. He's gonna call the person on screen one of those things.
Looted, spastic.
Let's fucking go. I locked in. I called it, bro. I can tell the future. I'm gonna quit YouTube and I'm gonna become a psychic.
We have another stereotypical deluded spastic here, saying that there could not be a better clip to illustrate a director doing his job incredibly well. And of course, half the internet has the opposite takeaway.
Listen, bro. I think you might be the half of the internet that has the opposite takeaway that he's talking about, right? Just a thought. I think you might be the other half of the internet.
Sorry to break it to people like this and people who hate on my videos, but you basically just need to go watch more movies.
Oh, I thought you were gonna call me gay, or autistic, or a spastic, you know, just like one of those three. I thought you were gonna do one of those three things, right? I'm a little shocked, honestly.
From all different time periods, genres, countries, go away and do it. Then come back and talk about how incredible directing is. Because I'm sorry, pal, but you're shit out of luck. This is not it. Pointing into somebody's face and crying about your own self-inserted feelings is not directing.
Nah, bro, I think you need a little more media literacy under your belt, bud. Because according to you, Lex Luthor in Superman is gay, but also an allegory for Trump.
We have another homo here. It's so awesome how no one understands what a director's job is.
Yeah, and you're one of those people, you media illiterate troglodyte. James Gunn is directing a movie, and you're like, nah, that's not real directing. What qualifies you to know what is and isn't real directing?
Nope, I'm pretty sure I know what the director's job is, and their job is to direct the actor to do what they want on film, to do what the character would do from the script or whatever it's based upon.
And that is exactly what James Gunn is doing, you illiterate buffoon. He's telling David Cornsweet, alright, this is what you gotta do, and David Cornsweet does it, alright? Please explain to me what James Gunn is doing wrong.
He's not directing anybody to do anything other than act retarded. Speaking of which, just case in point, look what they had David Cornsweet doing on set. And because James Gunn is a moron who's always online arguing with people, somebody asked him about Superman's budget and how much it needs to make to break even. And once again with the ad hominem attacks, James Gunn doesn't even address the issue. He just starts saying that you don't understand how a movie is made and you don't understand the film industry.
Okay, bro, are we reading the same tweet? When does James Gunn go on the attack and say, oh, if you don't understand Superman's budgeting issue, then you're a retard who doesn't understand the film industry? Like, he explains how it works, and you're like, oh yeah, James Gunn, he went on the attack.
You don't understand the difference, James Gunn, of being a normal, decent human being who tries their best, and being a sick bastard like yourself.
And you apparently don't seem to understand the concept of humor, because it's very obvious that these are jokes, alright? Clearly, alright? If you have, you know, an IQ higher than 5, right? Speaking of humor, maybe put some in your videos because goddamn, they are unbearable, bro. It's just you bitching at the camera about how this movie is woke and it's trash and it's this and that, bro. Alright? Maybe if you had, you know, a little humor or something like that in your videos, they would be much more bearable.
James Gunn knows absolutely nothing about superheroes or comic books. I'll just put that out there. He can bring up some knowledge and try to adapt some stuff he was given from a comic book, but you know nothing about Superman or Batman.
Okay, bro. Actual criticism instead of just calling someone gay or autistic. That's something I can actually respond to with something of substance. That's good. Okay, so what was your criticism again? James Gunn doesn't know how to write comic book characters. That's interesting because last time I checked, people said that James Gunn's movie was one of the most comic accurate movies, right? It's praised as one of the most comic accurate movies right after what you mentioned, Christopher Reeve's Superman, right? So I don't know what you're sitting here telling me, oh, James Gunn does not know how to properly adapt comic book movies. I don't know, man. I feel like he did it pretty well.
Even with Batman, if I was doing Batman, I could get into it. Like, Batman's a maniac. So yeah, he puts on a scary bat costume and goes out and tries to scare people.
Keep him away from DC, Marvel, comic books, Superman, and especially Batman. Cause what the fuck are you talking about? Batman is a maniac who puts on a costume to scare criminals. I'd really get into that if I was doing Batman. People like this are a disease, and the only cure is, I don't know, a good right hook.
Alright, bro, well, can you please tell me how it's wrong, alright? Batman is a maniac who puts on a costume and scares criminals, alright? Not sure about the maniac part, but he says that the whole point of the bat costume is to scare criminals. Also, I don't know who the hell you think you are with the whole, the cure for these people is a good right hook. Buddy, I'm willing to bet that you can't throw a punch for shit.
And the people coping on here, fake fans of Batman and comic books, saying that if you're mad at this, you've succumbed to this propaganda about the Wayne family. You're speaking a big load of garbage. He's not a maniac, he never was, for a good 50 years. Just because some postmodernist writer comes in a brand new crappy movie or comic does not make it canon. Read any classic Batman comic, Denny O'Neil, watch Mask of the Phantasm, the best Batman movie ever made. Is Batman insane? I don't think so. He is not a maniac. Another spastic here. Actual Batman fans aren't mad at this at all. He's an effing maniac and Bruce would admit that himself. Would he? Ever? Because I've never seen it. Did he do it in the Denny O'Neil run? Did he do it in any run out of the 80s by Alan Grant, John Wagner, I don't know, Doug Mensch? Did he do it at any point during the animated series? Or are you just a fake fan who needs to go screw themselves and just get a load of this shit that's been making the rounds? People are saying that he should direct a Spider-Man movie and, dear God, a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. Okay, so I'll make this quick. If you know nothing about TMNT, they're some of the most badass and underrated comic characters of all time.
Okay, he's not wrong. He's not wrong. Alright, ranting for vengeance is actually correct on this one, because when it comes to most modern Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles media, it's pretty watered down. Because in the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle comics, the Turtles were a lot more brutal. They actually killed people. Like in the first issue, they just straight up killed Shredder.
You can check out my video on it if you want to get into the franchise. But even if you know just the smallest bit about it, you know that James Gunn should not be anywhere near it. Spider-Man is bad enough because he'd ruin everything about the character. He'd self-insert some gay crap. But Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I don't know who made this tweet, but you, my friend, are mentally handicapped.
Listen, man, I don't know why this guy keeps saying that James Gunn is a bad director, because all of James Gunn's projects do well, alright? People like Peacemaker, people like Suicide Squad, people like Superman, people like his projects, bro. That's why he's CEO of DC now.
And to finish off this video, James Gunn has announced the Superman Saga. What a stupid name. What is it with these pretentious bullshit directors like Matt Reeves who say it's the Batman Matt Reeves Saga? Who the hell wants that? People just want an entertaining Superman or Batman movie. We don't want the Brave and the Bold or the Superman Saga. We don't want the people making these movies crying on set, having big squeaky autistic bitch voices.
Bro, you are the last man who should be complaining about squeaky autistic bitch voices or whatever, right? Your voice is quite possibly one of the most grating things I've ever heard in my entire life.
Talking about kids in a really weird way. People just want a comic accurate Superman or Batman movie. And
we got one. What are you complaining about?
And the Matt Reeves Batman saga and all of these different sagas are none of that. And any real true comic book fan out there knows it. So if you agreed with anything I said in this video and you want to see more content like this, do let me know and maybe consider subscribing. And if you're part of the horde of gay retards out there who love James Gunn and this movie, go screw yourself and go complain to your boyfriend.
Oh, thank God it's over. I can finally rest. If you like this video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, become a channel member, all that great stuff. Make sure to join my Discord server, link in the description. Comment of the week status goes to ShrewW3X, who simply says, good. And that's all. I'll see you guys next week. I'm out. Peace. Ladies and gentlemen, alright, it's no secret that Ranting for Vengeance is a moron. He constantly spews garbage from his mouth, but today, I found the pinnacle of his idiocy, his idiocracy, his buffoonery, his shaboingery. I'm talking worse than this James Gunn video, worse than this Superman video, worse than anything and everything he's ever uploaded, because RFV, he looked through time, he saw the Batman Part 2, and it was woke!
So the spasticated Matt Reeves Batman crime saga, the Penguin TV show, has won multiple Emmys. And on top of that, people are hyped for the gay Batman Part 2 starring Kurt Cobain.
Yeah, guys, remember how gay Batman was when he kissed Catwoman? Couldn't believe it, man.
And I can safely say that not only is this whole retarded saga woke, but it's also massively overrated. But before we get into it, if you like these type of videos and you want to help out the channel, maybe consider subscribing or supporting me over on Patreon. So as you can see, the Penguin has already won 8 Emmys, mainly for the score and the prosthetics and makeup. Now I haven't watched the Penguin.
Oh my God, alright, so you admit that you don't watch it, and then he's probably gonna turn around and say, it's woke, guys, it's woke and it's terrible, even though I didn't watch it, and he's gonna throw a temper tantrum about it like a fucking child.
Now I haven't watched The Penguin. I've already seen all the seasons of The Sopranos and I didn't really need to see another one.
Ranting for Vengeance is trying to insinuate that The Penguin is a ripoff of The Sopranos, but how would he know if he didn't watch The Penguin? Suspicious.
Colin Farrell, I don't really care if the guy's Irish, I think he sucks as an actor. People bitch and whine about Nolan taking away the comic book elements of Batman, but in this overrated portrayal of the Penguin, Matt Reeves changed the character's name from a real name that people actually have just because he thought it sounded too comic booky.
The shortening of the name from Oswald Cobblepot to Oz Cobbs, because some fans have noticed.
I can't 100% answer that, but because I don't know everything in Matt Reeves' mind.
Gay? What do you mean by gay, bro? Can you just, like, smell gay people? Can you just, like, that's a gay? I mean, I guess he was a little flamboyant in his speakings, but he hasn't done anything for me personally, and most normal people to think that he's gay. I know this is a really weird tangent that I'm going on. This just really caught me off guard, you know, the whole gay thing.
But, I would say that, largely we all kind of felt like Cobblepot wasn't a real person's name. It's like, kind of felt like Cobblepot wasn't a real person's name.
Oh my God, guys, can you believe it? They changed the Penguin's name from Oswald Cobblepot to Oswald Cobb! DC went woke! Seriously though, this is the hill Ranting for Vengeance is willing to die on. They changed the Penguin's name, and the entirety of Matt Reeves' Batman is woke garbage. Also, how does this relate to the Batman Part 2 being confirmed woke slop or whatever?
It's kind of a silly name back in the day when that was okay, because it was a, you know, comic books for kids.
Fuck you!
If you're retarded and you can't see that Matt Reeves is going against the comics and all of the characters...
Dog, it's a singular name change. Why are we, actually no, not we, why are you acting like the Batman is some sort of giant middle finger to Bob Kane and Bill Finger? Why are you throwing a temper tantrum over this, bro? Why is this the hill that you are willing to die on?
Then you might not really be a Batman, DC, or comic book fan. If you're not willing to stand up for these comic book characters who are being changed by shitty filmmakers who have not read the comics.
Yeah, guys, if you're not willing to burn down DC headquarters and publicly decapitate Matt Reeves like he's a French monarch over them changing the Penguin's name, you just can't call yourself a real comic fan, bro.
Now, big anti-woke YouTubers are...
Me personally, I'm excited to see where this goes.
Now, big anti-woke YouTubers are saying that the Penguin was one of the best things that DC has put out in the last 10 years. I don't really care for that whole anti-woke crowd. I think that they do a lot of grifting, and this is an example.
You serious?
Does he know? Like, genuinely, does he know? brother, you are part of the anti-woke crowd. You're the grifter. You're the liar. You're the problem. God, he's so far deep in the anti-woke agenda that he doesn't even identify with the other anti-woke grifters.
The Batman and the Penguin were shit. They race-swapped characters, they made Batman some gay weak Nirvana listener.
Once again, remember how gay Batman was when he kissed Catwoman? Couldn't believe it, bro. Almost walked out of the theater because of how gay it was.
Filled with feminism and handicapped political inserts. Once again, if you can't see any of that, go screw yourself. Case in point, this professional retard, Jeffrey Wright, who already played a race-swap character in the Bond franchise, played Commissioner Jim Gordon, a character that he knows nothing about. A character that Frank Miller really defined in Batman Year One, making him a hard-boiled detective. And Jeffrey Wright did not play a hard-boiled detective in The Batman by Matt Reeves. Jim Gordon is canonically a redhead, so this is a stupid race swap. Stop whining about racism and go back to the hood.
That's an interesting way of saying that you're not a racist. Telling a black man to go back to the hood? Definitely not something a racist would say. Who am I kidding? I'm fully convinced that Ranting for Vengeance would say the Hargar if he could get away with it. I mean, hell, he probably already has behind closed doors.
Next up on the chopping block of spastication.
Okay, alright. Side conversation. Can someone please tell me what spasticated means? Like, I've never heard anyone other than Ranting for Vengeance say. Is it an Irish thing? Let me know in the comments because I'm genuinely lost here.
Next up on the chopping block of spastication, we have this Matt Reeves Batman fan account here. And just a little side note, all of these fan accounts for Superman, Batman, Fantastic Four are the absolute cesspools of cringe on Twitter. It's why I barely use it, because every time I open up the app, I see some paid retard who has never read a comic book in their life. But anyway, this moron says, imagine trying to put white eyes on this. Yeah, I don't know what your point is. I can imagine it pretty well, because Batman has always had white eyes.
Okay, alright, giving my 2 cents on the whole Batman white eyes debate, I would want to see Batman with the classic white eyes, but at the same time, I also think that the current live-action suits without the white eyes look good, right? Is it weird that I like them both? Because, you know, both are good, in my opinion.
Because Batman has always had white eyes. It's not some circumstantial thing, where sometimes he has them and sometimes he doesn't. Every single episode of Batman the Animated Series, every single comic. So just because you like some retarded Twilight gay emo eyes crying every 3 seconds in the movie doesn't make it objectively good.
Once again, bro, we're just straight up lying, right? Because Batman barely cries at all during the movie. The only time he cries is during the hospital scene, bro. It is one time, bro. Man just can't even show emotion. And you're like, oh, he's gay. That's gay. Any emotion is gay. There's no emotion in my household. Oh my god, Ranting for Vengeance would be a terrible parent. Daddy, when I grow up, I want... Did I just catch you showing emotion in me house?
More accurate to the character of Batman, I should never see Batman's eyes or what emotions he's feeling. And that's the argument you'll hear. Look how good the emotion is and how good the acting is out of Robert Pattinson.
But the acting is genuinely good, alright? Why is he dismissing genuinely good acting in favor of minute details like Batman not having white eyes or Penguin's last name being changed?
Stop coping. This isn't an upgrade or comic accurate. I don't want to see some gay guy crying throughout the entire movie.
Man, I'm getting tired of the homosexual accusations, bro. Like, he kissed a woman. Batman kissed Catwoman. How much more straight can you get? That's like top 10 straight activities, is kissing women.
And before I continue, I have to make it clear that I was a massive fan of The Batman by Matt Reeves. When it came out, I saw it in theaters like 3 times. And the reason was because I'm a massive fan of film noir and hard-boiled detective noir fiction. And at the time, The Batman was the closest we've gotten to that in recent years. And there's still stuff in that movie that I really like. Now, all my criticisms still stand. It's not comic accurate. Batman is some gay dude who cries and listens to Nirvana.
Hey bro, why Nirvana catching strays, bro? What did Kurt Cobain do to you? He's been dead for like 30 years. Why is he catching strays, bro?
The race swaps and all that stuff is still trash.
Are these white privileged assholes?
Okay, so y'all gotta stay with me here. The reason Catwoman is saying this isn't because Matt Reeves is a liberal soy boy. It's because Catwoman, within the Batman, is a victim of abuse and a racial minority in an extremely corrupt city. And I just know Ranting for Vengeance is gonna go on about some crazy rant about how Matt Reeves is probably like a mafia or something.
Hidden behind all that, there is a good movie in there somewhere in the rain-soaked Gotham where Batman is actually a detective. And that takes us to this tweet, which which was the subject of some controversy because a lot of people are fake fans who do not understand noir or hard-boiled fiction because these people don't really read books or watch old movies. Which, side note, that isn't really a hard thing to do. All you have to do is kind of use your brain. But some guy posted up some shots from the Batman saying the world's greatest detective. And yeah, I think this looks good and maybe even better than the original because it fits the tone of the noir kind of tone that the film was trying to go for. With the voiceover and the rain and the investigation and the femme fatale, even though she was race swapped.
Hey bro, correct me if I'm wrong, alright? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought the universal law was that so long as Catwoman's a baddie, no one really cares if Catwoman got race swapped.
This person here, who I've seen before having some really woke and special needs takes all across Twitter, actually says something good for once. Genuinely surprised that there's not a black and white version of this movie. It literally seems like a no-brainer. And I'm not even able to read all of them out because there's just so many retards who took offense to this, saying that why would you ever drain the color out of this masterpiece? Why would you ever put it in black and white? And the original poster had to actually say it that, yeah, the movie was kind of a detective movie. That's why I said it should be in black and white.
That's great and all, bro, but how does this prove that the Batman Part 2 will be a woke disaster, right? It's in the title and the thumbnail, and all you've done is just read Twitter and whine about how, down to the last minute detail, to the last subatomic particle, it's not comic accurate, alright, bro? You're not delivering on what I was promised.
You know, like the way a detective movie would be. And of course, these people don't know what any of that means. All of these bots are incapable of watching something that came out before the year 1990. They have no recollection of Humphrey Bogart, Robert Mitchum, Raymond Chandler, or Mickey Spillane, Dashiell Hammett novels with Sam Spade.
We get it, bro. You have a hard-on for noir detective films and hard-boiled fiction. Now, can we please talk about the Batman Part 2 being a woke disaster? Alright, that's what I came here for, and you're not delivering.
People in this generation literally don't know anything about that. It's why they're incapable of liking movies like Dirty Harry, Cobra, Sin City. Because a lot of movies and works that came out in the 70s, 80s, and even now today, like The Batman, are tributing classic noir fiction and movies. And to be honest, I'm kinda sick of trying to explain all this shit. You either know about it or you're retarded. And also, since the very beginning to the Frank Miller, Denny O'Neil comics, the entirety of Batman the Animated Series and Mask of the Phantasm, Batman has always been a noir character and world. And some fake fans just can't understand that. Moving on, once again, somebody tries to say something that is actually comic accurate and gets attacked for it. This guy edited the Batman suit to make it the actual colors of Batman's costume, which in my opinion looks way better in the actual suit that they used in the movie.
Okay, I see what Ranting for Vengeance is saying here. I don't really like the way he said it, but to play devil's advocate here, this batsuit does look really good, alright? I can't lie, it looks really good.
Once again, you have armies of people attacking people who actually want Batman to look and be in a world like Batman. Everything woke, race swapped, and gay is peak and fire, and everything like this, or the last post that wanted Batman to be in black and white like a noir, is mid and corny and goofy because these people do not understand the character. And I'm gonna end this off with some majorly handicapped cringe. Greatest show don't tell moment in all of comic book cinema. Now, I'm sure other movies had great show don't tell moments, but apparently this is the best one of all time.
Muted cause it's gay. Bro, what is your obsession with homosexuality, bro? Like, why are you like, oh, this is gay, that's gay, everything's gay? Like, what's your obsession with gay people, bro? Are you one of them? Are you one of the closeted gays? Are you part of the gay police, the gay Stapo? What's your deal, bro?
Yeah, so instead of giving Batman an actual backstory or revealing it over time, we just destroy the legacy of Batman's parents and include a scene like this, where he stares like an autistic gay.
What level of mental illness is this? The legacy of Batman's parents weren't ruined, and here we have Batman relating to this child through his own experience of losing his parents. He doesn't stare like an autistic gay, you absolutely media illiterate troglodyte.
That's the end of the line for the entire argument. These movies and TV shows, no matter how many awards they win, are not comic accurate. People like this who don't like the black and white noir look, or the white eyes, or the blue suit, are not real comic book Batman or DC fans. Oh yeah, and finally, Batman is Bruce Wayne. He's not some weak homo who cries his eyes out at every single thing he sees. The Robert Pattinson, Matt Reeves Batman crime saga is entirely and absolutely retarded.
Bro, I don't know why this guy keeps throwing shade at Robert Pattinson when Robert Pattinson mogs him in pretty much every conceivable way. Like, genuinely, bro, who does this kid think he is, bro? Like, you know who he reminds me of? Actually, no, not who, what. He reminds me of, like, that Rick and Morty copy pasta where it's like, to be fair, you have to have a very high IQ to understand Rick and Morty. Like, he's the type of person that would watch Rick and Morty and unironically say that. Anyways, guys, I think that's going to be the end of this video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that great stuff. Be sure to become a channel member and join my Discord server, link in the description below. I'm trying to boost that shit so that we can have our own server tag. Comment of the week status goes to my goat, Max Poker Bruh 2794, who says, yeah, the Has-Been Hotel fanbase has a crazy weird side, like every other fanbase, right? The reason he's saying that is because I made a video on the Has-Been Hotel fanbase last week. You should go watch it. It's pretty fire, in my opinion, but what do I know? I'm the guy who made the video, so, you know, I'm a little biased. My ears hurt from the amount of whiny bitch baby I've had to hear while making this video. I know you guys are probably sick and tired of the Ranting for Vengeance videos, but there's one reason I keep doing them. The views! Anyways, that's it for today. I'll see you guys all next week, and I'm out. Peace. Pop out 1 in the morning, I got googling on my mind. TS is okay, the jump are calling all the time, and all these goofy sigmas glazing when LeBron is shooting fives, but I can't get to mewing, I got googling on my mind. Oh boy, ladies and gentlemen, I'm excited. You wanna know why? Because Ranting for Vengeance said something stupid again. And I'm gonna talk about it, because, according to him, the Wolverine game will be woke slop. Confirmed, apparently. Now, I'm not going to waste any more of your time. Let's get straight into the video.
We finally have a trailer for Insomniac's long-awaited Wolverine game, and people are saying it looks great and lives up to the hype. And as a big fan of the character of Wolverine, it does look good to an extent.
Wait. Pause, alright? What the hell happened to Ranting for Vengeance, bro? He looks like he's been neutered. This is not the Ranting for Vengeance I know and hate, right? Where's the malice, the hatred, the venom, right? Hashtag not my Ranting for Vengeance. Please tell me this kid wasn't replaced by AI. If he was, I'm gonna kill myself.
Because throughout all of these trailers and posts, people are leaving out one crucial detail. And I'm not gonna clickbait you or try to make you watch the entire video. I'm just gonna tell it to you straight. This game is confirmed as feminist garbage.
Oh my god, this guy does this every video about like an upcoming movie or TV show. He'll say, oh, confirmed woke slop, guys. It's confirmed woke slop. And then he'll never provide any proof of said thing being woke slop. Like, he'll never, like, provide a Reddit post, a Twitter post. He'll never provide anything of it being woke slop, bro. He'll be like, oh, it's woke slop. Source, my asshole.
I'm not a fan of the modern comic Wolverine that is nothing like the character. I'm a fan of the real Wolverine from Chris Claremont's full Uncanny X-Men, ranging from the 70s all the way up to the early 90s. Claremont created a character that was this anti-hero that could only really be found if you were reading underground comics or manga. Wolverine didn't wear a cape. He wasn't some pacifist Boy Scout. He was like a mix of Batman and Daredevil, where at his minimum, he was a badass character in the team of the X-Men all the way through the 70s, 80s, and 90s. And at the maximum potential of the character, like we saw in the Claremont Miller miniseries that you should read, it's basically the gateway to the character. Probably up there with the excellent Conan-style origin story Weapon X for being one of the best Wolverine stories ever made. In that miniseries, in Weapon X, in his entire solo series, which is also awesome, the writers and artists take inspiration from pulp fantasy like Conan, and also hard-boiled pulp fiction and film noir, creating the Wolverine that's always smoking a cigarette, drinking, dealing with a femme fatale in some dark city. That is the character of Wolverine. He's like a hard-boiled detective that's darker than even Daredevil.
Dear God, holy yap session, man. Are we gonna get to the part where you talk about Wolverine being confirmed woke slop?
Up there with Daredevil for my favorite character at Marvel. By no means is he some forgettable background character like in every brand new comic, or Hugh Jackman in a wife beater running around screaming. And I could talk about the classic comics all day, but I don't know if you want to see that, so if you do, let me know.
No, I don't. I gotta be honest, I don't really care. I only watched you so that I can react to you and make fun of your terrible takes.
But that takes me to the Wolverine game, which I'm not really going to be all negative about and say that it looks like total garbage, because it doesn't. As a Wolverine fan, you can't resist that the game is set in Tokyo and Madripoor, two locations that are taken straight from the great comics of Wolverine. Wolverine.
Okay, so that poses two good questions. Question number one, why are you hating? And question number two, how is this confirmed woke slop? You haven't said anything about it being confirmed woke slop, bro. Where is the woke slop, right? This is what I came here for. You're not delivering.
That seems to be the case with this game. There's a lot of stuff taken straight from the comics, like the fact that you have the brown and tan suit and the patch suit. And just a quick side note about the patch era of Wolverine. Many people do not know what that is, and you shouldn't really call yourself a Wolverine fan if you haven't done the research or even read these comics. Basically, when Wolverine finally got his solo run in the 80s, which is absolutely awesome by the way, in this underrated run that is great work from Chris Claremont to John Buscema, and later improved upon by G.I. Joe writer Larry Hama and the excellent artist Mark Silvestri, creating a new persona for Wolverine where he didn't wear the brown and tan suit or the yellow and blue one. Instead, he was taken directly from Humphrey Bogart from Casablanca, constantly seen in a white suit, smoking with an eye patch. Now, modern comic book fans who have no respect laugh at this and not see that it's one of the coolest things ever made. But anyways, the patch suit is in the game, and the Asian country Madripoor where Wolverine stayed with all these seedy bars and gangs. So I will have to give massive respect to the game for doing that. And as you—
Bro, this guy's actually complimenting the source material? This truly is not my ranting for vengeance, bro. The ranting for vengeance I know and hate would not be doing this, bro. He would be like, oh, this is woke. It's all woke.
As you can see from the trailers, it does look great. Wolverine riding a motorcycle with Arkham-style stealth and combat. And by God, as a Daredevil and Wolverine fan, we do need a proper game like this. And that is one of the problems with this game. It just looks like God of War mixed with Arkham and Spider-Man. And speaking of Spider-Man, that leads me into the main issue of this game. Now,
alright, finally, thank God, it's woke slop time, fellas. Get your popcorn buckets out. We're gonna hear this guy and his terrible takes, alright? I wonder, how can this be confirmed woke slop, alright? Please, enlighten me, Mr. Ranting for Vengeance.
I was positive for a bit. The game does look badass, but at the same time, why is the suit some tactical Christopher Nolan variation instead of the actual character's costume?
Listen, man, this is something that I've seen a lot where, like, they're pointing out, like, oh, why does Logan have armor? Like, man, just because he can, like, get shot and survive doesn't mean that he, like, wants to be shot. Even then, this doesn't look too bad. This is just like a more, like, tactical rendition of the classic Wolverine suit.
Does Logan look and sound nothing like his character?
Okay, number one, this does look like Wolverine from the comics, it's just a bad angle. And number two, and most importantly, you can hear comic books.
More importantly, this is Insomniac we're dealing with. The people who gave us Spider-Man Miles Morales and Spider-Man 2.
Dog, it is a Black Lives Matter painting, alright? Quit acting like you fight alongside Antifa to overthrow the government, okay? Also, why are we hating on Miles Morales and Spider-Man 2? Both Miles Morales and Spider-Man 2 were very positively received.
Spider-Man 2 because I was a really big fan of Spider-Man at the time and wanted a good Spider-Man game that stayed faithful to the character. And I thought I was gonna get that, but what did I get instead? A big load of gay black people.
Gay black people. Gay black people ruined Spider-Man. Oh my god, someone has to put that on a t-shirt, bro. I would low-key buy that.
Hey, do you want to play as Miles Morales, the fake Spider-Man, going around at festivals with other people of color? And do you also want to play as his deaf girlfriend for some reason?
You know, when Ranting for Vengeance is criticizing something, he usually seems to have this sort of odd fixation on the character's skin color. Like, that's a little strange, buddy. Why is that?
All of the female characters are feminist bitches, like Mary Jane Watson in Spider-Man 2. So how is that gonna mix? Wolverine, a character who is always dealing with femme fatales, like a noir detective, is instead gonna get punched in the nuts by some bitch. And you can already see some of this from the leaks. Now I probably have to watch my words here, or maybe I don't, because nobody really gives a crap.
Oh my god, he's probably gonna say something racist, isn't he? Alright, how much do you want to bet that he's just gonna say the N-word?
Using the internet, I hate Nick.
I'm sorry, bro. I couldn't resist. Alright, I'll get back to the video.
Using the internet, let's just say I borrowed a little sneak peek of Wolverine a few months ago.
So you're telling me that the entire reason why you know Wolverine is confirmed woke slop is because you played the game way earlier than it was supposed to come out, and it wasn't great?
I'm not lying.
Yes, you are.
I managed to get it up and running, and I'll tell you the truth. This game is hiding something that it's not showing anybody in any of the trailers.
You know, if I go to the comment section on any of this guy's other videos, they're all like agreeing with him. It's like an echo chamber. The comment section on this video, they decided to rise up because they realized that this man is a clown. He's a certified clown. He's a buffoon. He acts buffoonish. Actually, no, buffoons are funny. He's making a fool of himself.
You don't just play as Wolverine in this game, you also have to play as Jean Grey.
Okay, bro, so you're telling me that you supposedly stumbled across an unfinished version of the Wolverine game, which was bad, and now you're saying that you get to play as Jean Grey? Like that's like your whole thing? Like, oh, you have to play as Jean Grey, guys. Isn't this so woke? Isn't this so terrible? I mean, that doesn't sound too bad. If done right, I think this could be interesting.
You also have to play as Jean Grey in these 4 sections that go on for way too long.
Wow, the unfinished version of the game that you supposedly played might not be all that great and might have some balancing issues. Who could have thought of that?
Nobody's telling you that. And Jean Grey is not a feminist character, but knowing Insomniac, they're gonna make her insufferable. And also, the game is called Wolverine. Why am I playing as 2 different characters?
Bro, we're still mainly playing as Wolverine. Different characters can show up in different media. If you were playing a character completely unrelated to Wolverine, then maybe you would have a point. But Jean Grey is part of Wolverine's story, and even then, that's your main reason as to why this game will be woke, is because you played an unfinished version of it that you found on the deep web?
Literally, right now, I'll tell you from first-hand experience, the Logan in this game is weak and gay and not at all masculine.
I don't know, man. He appeared to be pretty masculine and not gay and not woke in the trailer, but hey, what do I know, alright? I'm just a lonely, media-illiterate commoner, alright? I haven't played this supposedly free version of Wolverine that's just out there on the dark web waiting to be downloaded.
You know, like the exact opposite of Logan. And you have to play as Jean Grey for full sections of the game. But as a fan of Wolverine, I'm gonna do whatever the hell I want to do. And that means I might even just play this game. But
oh, this game sucks, and it's woke, and it's garbage, but I'm gonna buy it. But it sucks, and it's woke, and you shouldn't buy it, but I'm still gonna buy it. But it sucks, and it's garbage. You know, it just sounds to me like you just want to play the game, bro. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. You don't gotta do like this whole song and dance of like, oh, it's woke, and like I played the unfinished version of the game and it's garbage, but I'm still gonna buy it. But like, it sucks and it's woke and you shouldn't buy it, guys, but I'm still gonna buy it. Like, bro, you already played the game. You know, what else is there to do?
I am warning you that this game is gonna be feminist and it is gonna be woke.
This game is gonna be feminist and woke. Source, my ass. Like, bro, you've provided absolutely no proof whatsoever that this game is going to be woke and feminist, right? All you've done is just say, oh yeah, I played the unfinished version of this game a year before it was supposed to come out, and it wasn't good, so you guys shouldn't buy this game.
I'm just too big a fan of the character to give up an opportunity to play an actual Wolverine game.
Dog, just say that you want to play the game. Like, you don't gotta do like this weird song and dance where the game is woke and feminist and gay, but I'm gonna buy it even though I already downloaded it. Like, just say that you want to play the game, alright? And I wouldn't judge you as hard.
This game is 100% without a doubt political. And not even political, it's just shit. Who wants to play as Jean Grey?
You, apparently, since you're so dead set on buying this game.
There's tons of different characters you could have played as. Maybe Kitty Pryde. Like, you know, the classic Chris Claremont run, Kitty Pryde and Wolverine. No, instead you have to play as Jean Grey.
Bro, this guy's whole thing is that he whines when things aren't perfectly, down to the last minute detail, accurate to the comics. Don't get me wrong, the comics are good source material, and there's things from the comics that I would like to see in game, like a Hulk versus Wolverine section. But I also want an original story from this game.
As I said, all that stuff aside, it is a game where you're going to be able to wear the patch outfit, the classic brown and tan. You're going to be able to ride a motorbike through Tokyo like Wolverine would.
So why are you complaining? You said that you're getting a Wolverine game in it with everything that you want, so what's with all this bitching and moaning that you're doing?
So I would take this game as a win, but there is going to be some insufferable feminism. And that's just my last point. We can't get a proper Wolverine game where he looks and acts badass and masculine like the character. Instead, there has to be a tacked on chunk of wokeness and feminism. And no real fan of the comics and the character of Wolverine actually wants this.
Okay, fans of the Wolverine comic and Wolverine character, let me know in the comment section if you're excited for the Wolverine game. Actually, you don't even have to be a fan. Just let me know in the comments if you're excited for the Wolverine game, because I know I am, right? I don't have a PlayStation, but I'm kind of praying that this comes to Steam.
So the people who made this decision to inject feminism, screw you. So that was just a quick video. It's kind of annoying that we have to put up with feminism and wokeness. You can't just get a normal game. That sounds like I'm saying the same thing over and over, but it really is the truth.
No, you are just saying the same thing over and over again. You've said that you're you're going to buy the game even though it's woke, and you've already downloaded it from the dark web about 3 times.
Screw these miserable people.
Just by chance, have you happened to look in the mirror lately?
Who can't give the fans what they want. So if you want to see more videos like this, or videos about classic comics, then do let me know, and maybe consider subscribing. And if you're one of the retards out there who advocates for this feminist trash, then go complain to your boyfriend.
That's a cute insult. Did your husband write it for you? Anyways, I think that's going to be the end of this week's video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that great stuff. Be sure to join my Discord server and become a channel member. Comment of the week status goes to Phantom Knight Encounterist, who says, "Hoopify be out here speaking a whole new language." If you want comment of the week, you just have to be the first person to comment on the video. And I'll see you guys all next week. I'm out. Peace. You know, I was out of ideas for videos. I didn't have any ideas. Everything was dry. Alright, everything was drier than the Sahara Desert. But then, last night it came to me. It came to me in a dream. And so, we're bringing it back. Everyone, you know him. You love to hate him. Please give it up for fan favorite, Ranting for Vengeance! Now, chances are, you're probably wondering what Ranting for Vengeance has done this time, right? What has he done that deserves the wrath of the people? And I'll tell you what. So, a while ago, there was the Absolute Batman Annual, which marked about 1 year since its release. And in the annual, Batman is taking on a group of white supremacists. And I think that tells you all you need to know about why Ranting for Vengeance didn't like it. But without further ado, let's get into the video.
So I'm a little late to this story, but who cares? Absolute Batman has apparently broken the no-kill rule. And you'll be asking yourself, why would the writers make such a big decision? Well, the answer is because they wanted to crack down on people who have a certain political opinion.
You know what, Ranting for Vengeance? I agree with you. I think this is right. Alright, I think this was made to push away people of a certain political opinion. And you want to know what that political opinion is? Nazis. This was made to push away Nazis, because I feel like Nazis are really the only ones who are getting mad at this. Like, genuinely, how do you come to such a conclusion, right? Like, how does one get here, right? Like, you see a Nazi getting beat up, you're like, they're fucking talking about me! This is woke! It's all woke garbage! Like, I find it ironic that, like, the people, especially, you know, people like Ranting for Vengeance, who build their entire careers off of, you know, like, oh, fuck the woke mob and the liberals, you know, canceling everything. I hate those guys. But also, I get very, 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 very offended. My feelings get very hurt when there's a black person, or a gay person, or a Jewish person, or a Mexican person, or a woman person in front of me. You know, just someone who's not a straight white man. I just get very, very, very offended when someone who's not one of those things is in front of me. I just find it really ironic how people like Ranting for Vengeance, who make a living off of calling everyone else snowflakes, will turn into a fucking whiny little bitch goo-goo wah-wah baby when they see a Nazi getting beat up.
Yeah, this comic continues to be absolute retardation that nobody knows about or cares about.
Wrong. False. Come here, let me tell you something, alright? Ranting for Vengeance, our friend Ranting for Vengeance, he's lying to you, alright? Not only was Absolute Batman the best-selling issue of 2024 with 400,000 copies sold, but some of the other issues of Absolute Batman have managed to hit #1 in the charts. For example, Absolute Batman #4 was #1 in January, Absolute Batman #10 was #1 in July, Absolute Batman 11 was #1 in August, Absolute Batman 15 is #1 in December, and the annual, the very issue that Ranting for Vengeance is complaining about is #1, well, not #1, but was a top seller in 2025, so saying that no one cared about this, or no one watches this, isn't just bad faith, it's a straight up lie, and that's the only thing Ranting for Vengeance really can do here, lie, alright? What's he gonna do, say you should sympathize with the Nazis getting their faces pummeled in?
So I don't really like doing 50 videos on one subject like I've done in the past, because I feel that after a certain point it'll get exhausting just listening to woke slop. So that is my mindset, but this Absolute Batman story is too big and retarded to ignore.
Oh, I get it. So at first, you know, no one knows about this. No one gives a fuck about this, right? No one cares about Absolute Batman, right? Nobody watches it or reads it. No one cares about it. But this story's too big for me to ignore, guys. I just have to talk about this because this story is so big. It's just so huge. It's ginormous. I have to talk about this story, guys. Like, dude, you can't even get your story straight, right? Like, at least come up with a solid narrative before making a stupid video like this.
And because of that, I'm gonna stay true to what I believe. I'm not gonna go through this comic page by page, tearing it apart, because any person with common sense already knows that DC as a company is dead.
Okay, now before you say anything, this was before Warner Bros. Was bought by Netflix, and even then, Netflix themselves confirmed that James Gunn would remain head of DC Studios, so even if DC were to die, which I don't think it will for a while, I think DC would be a lot more likely to die from Netflix, making everything go to Netflix instead of theaters, instead of from quote-unquote wokeness.
The normal Batman comics are gay and handicapped, which we'll get to in a second, and Absolute Batman is just that times 10. So I'm not gonna do something where I break every single thing down as if it's some story that's worth reading. But I do just want to touch on the people who are loving this garbage. They're celebrating this as if it's like Watchmen or The Dark Knight Returns.
This is unrelated to Ranting for Vengeance's talking points, but I genuinely can't tell. Is it just like the lighting casting shadows on his face, or does he have a black eye right here? Given that Ranting for Vengeance's father makes basically the same type of content as his son, I wouldn't put him above him that he's essentially groomed his child into being a sort of mini-me, and he beats him when he steps out of line, but hey, that's just a theory. A game theory.
This is probably all I'll show because the cringe just gets out of hand. So this guy here gets 6 million views and 200k likes. That's one of the most retarded pictures of all time from the brand new Absolute Batman annual, which nobody read, by the way. Like, nobody gives a fuck about that.
Yeah, guys, no one read the Absolute Batman annual. No one read it at all, right? In fact, so many people did not read it that it just doesn't exist. It was erased from existence by DC. They just erased it because they were just so embarrassed by it not existing, right? They were just so embarrassed by its by its poor sales performance that they just took it off the shelves and pretend like it don't exist. This kid's points are so trash, right? Like they can literally just be debunked with a single Google search, right?
And the same goes for these pages that you're posting up, as if they mean something. It all comes back to the classic Reddit mentality of, hey, my favorite woke character agrees with me, so yeah.
Okay, but yeah, I'm not really sure what you're talking about here, because number one, this is official DC art. This is official. This was published by DC. This was published under the DC name. This isn't a fan comic. Right? This is official DC comic book material. And number two, alright? Number two, what does the whole my favorite character would agree with anything mentality have to do with any of this whatsoever? Alright? Like, it feels like you're just making shit up because you know your points are intrinsically weak. Like, there's only so many times you can pretend to be mad about something in this comic that's not the Nazis getting beat up before it gets corny.
So yeah, and they think that it gives them a leg to stand on. Who gives a shit if Absolute Batman would agree with you? And this doesn't just go out to the fake fans who are just gay retards like this guy.
Bro, what the fuck did the Twitter poster do, bro? Oh yeah, fucking morons, fucking slop consumers like this guy. Oh, can you believe him? He likes Absolute Batman. Oh, what a loser, what a moron. Listen, bro, I don't know about you, but I hate it when I'm reading an Absolute Batman comic, alright? And you know what I get jump scared by? Fucking pronouns! Fucking gender ambiguity! Fucking current day Californian shit! Hey, Snowbrix96 here, right? So I was trying to find, like, a good, like, clip of the pronouns rant, and I found this. Oh my fucking god, this is so cringe, bro. Holy fuck. I just had to share this with you guys. I feel like it wouldn't really fit in the video, but I just had to share it. All right, this is post Bricks96 signing off.
This doesn't just go out to the fake fans who are just gay retards like this guy, but it also goes out to the spastics at DC making this shit.
You know, I've always hated the, well, if you're so smart, why don't you do insert thing here criticism, because I feel like that's kind of stupid. Like, if there's a bad video game, I don't need to have like a fucking bachelor's degree in computerology to realize that it's a bad video game. But here, I feel like that would genuinely apply, alright? Ranting for Vengeance, if you're so smart, right? If you're so based and red-pilled and Sigma, why don't you make your own comic book series? Like, genuinely, I want to know, what would a Ranting for Vengeance comic book series look like, right? Like, I'm actually, like, this is beyond joke territory. I'm actually kind of interested now. Right? Like, genuinely, what would that look like, right? Let me know down in the comments, what do you think a Ranting for Vengeance comic book series would look like?
You think you're making a difference, and you think that anybody finds this cool. As I said earlier, people are talking about this. people talking about this?
God, bro. So at first it's like, oh, no one bought this. No one's talking about this. No one likes it. No one likes Absolute Batman. No one bought it. No one's talking about it. But also, guys, it's so huge. This is such a huge topic I have to talk about. Guys, everyone's talking about this. This is the most insane drama of all time. Like, dude, you can't even get the fucking story straight. Oh my fucking god, this is so stupid, bro. Like, listen, I know you probably don't have the most developed frontal lobe of all time, right? Like, I know you're probably definitely a little bit stupid. You probably take the class with the kid with the helmet on his head. But Jesus Christ, right? Either, right? This is very simple, right? The narrative of this video should be either this is popular and people are talking about this and I don't like it, or this isn't popular, people are not talking about this and I still don't like it. Like, the narrative of this video is so stupidly inconsistent that it pisses me off to no end.
I said earlier, people are talking about this, and the writers and artists making this slop think that it's The Dark Knight Returns or Frank Miller's Daredevil or Watchmen. And here's the thing, I don't even like Watchmen, but I can't sit here and say that it isn't a famous piece of work that changed comics. And the same goes for Daredevil Born Again and The Dark Knight Returns. You know, all these comics that none of you have read. And no, I'm not talking to the people with brains out there who can actually think for themselves. I'm talking to the people like this guy who are posting about how they love Absolute Batman breaking up neo-Nazis. Have you read Frank Miller's Daredevil? Have you read Denny O'Neil Batman? I don't think so.
Oh, you like comic books? You like Batman comic books, huh? You like Absolute Batman? Well, have you read the 1991 one-off, Batman Holy Terror? No? Didn't think so. Guess you can't call yourself a real Batman fan, huh?
All that stuff aside, I just think that it's absolutely hilarious that you think you're making a difference. You think by drawing some spasticated comic where fake Batman goes around crushing people, you're changing the political landscape of the world.
Bro, where did they say this? Like, where did anyone say this? When has one DC artist been like, oh yeah, I really think we're changing hearts and minds with this one, guys. I really think I'm making a difference here. No one said this, bro. You're making stuff up. You are making shit up to get mad about, bro. You are literally doing the man invents fictional scenario and gets angry about it.
Nobody read this shit. End of story. Moving on. At this point, I can't even get angry at this because this is just laughable. Who thinks that this is even Batman? So this artist, Dan Mora, who draws Batman and all these great DC comics and is beloved and he's so awesome, is just drawing Batman and Superman being gay. And I'm pretty sure it's like a fan commission. So you walk up to your favorite artist and say, hey, can you draw Batman and Superman being gay for some reason?
Now, any artists in the comments, feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, but usually, alright, and this is how I'm pretty sure it goes with artists. Alright, usually what you do, unless this was like done at a convention, usually what happens is like go on the internet, find them like on their Twitter or their Instagram or their TikTok or something. You pay them money and then they draw the thing, right? You pay them money and they draw a thing, right? Once again, artists, feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, but usually, alright, usually you just don't walk up to them and be like, hey man, can you draw this for me?
Imagine trying this on an actual good artist, like walking up to Neil Adams or John Byrne and being like, hey, can you draw Wolverine, but instead of smoking a cigar, he's just gay and retarded. But for some reason, this guy, Dan Mora, is just drawing them happily and he's done it multiple times.
Oh my god, bro, this guy's such a fucking pussy. Like, who cares? Like, genuinely, bro, who cares at all? Who cares in the slightest, right? Because this guy, right, fucking ranting for vengeance, you know, he's based his entire career off of, you know, not giving a fuck what people think. And, you know, he's not offended. He's not offended by anything, right? Like you pussies are. He calls everyone else snowflakes. But then he fucking has a temper tantrum when an artist draws two men kissing.
As I said, you can't really get mad and lose your crap over this.
Then why are you making this video?
It's because this isn't really Batman. Dan Mora is not a good artist. Nobody knows who the hell he is. Nobody knows what his comics are. Nobody knows what Absolute Batman or its shitty annual is. That's the whole point I'm trying to make with this video. It's kind of hilarious that people think that Dan Mora, the mainline Batman runs, the Bat Family, Absolute Batman, it's the top of the comics world and everybody's reading it. It's becoming mainstream now.
Bitch, this is literally happening. Absolute Batman issue 1 was the best-selling comic book of 2024.
The truth is, any real fan of DC, comics, or Batman saw Absolute Batman and went, what is this retarded shit? And then
Oh, thank God it's finally over. Alright, I don't really have anything funny to say right here. I'm just glad it's over. It's been a long day, alright? It's been a long day for me. But I still got up. I still made this video even when I didn't want to. And that's some dedication right there. Dedication to you guys, my fans. Which is why you should subscribe. Anyways, guys, I think that's going to be the end of today's video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that great stuff. Be sure to become a channel member, and be sure to join my Discord server, link in the description below. Comment of the week status goes to Phantom Knight Encounterist. If you want comment of the week status, all you have to do is be the first person to comment on the video, and I'll give you a shout out in the next one next week. And with that all said, I'll see you guys all later. I'm out. Peace. Ladies and gentlemen, you're probably going to want to sit down for this one, because I'm about to give you some shocking news, something that'll flabbergast you, that'll surprise you, that'll make you jump out of your seat. Ranting for Vengeance has a father figure, or just a father. He has a father, right? He has a biological dad that I'm assuming is in his life to some extent. Now, I'm sure you're wondering, Snowbrix, how did you arrive to the realization that Ranting for Vengeance has a father figure in his life? And I'll tell you how. So, I stumbled across a channel called RPMMA, aka Red Pill MMA, and he talks like he talks exactly like Ranting for Vengeance. He acts exactly like Ranting for Vengeance. He basically makes like a grown-up version of Ranting for Vengeance's videos, and he has the exact same like room setup as Ranting for Vengeance. So if they're not family, if they're not related in any way, then I think, I don't know, man. It's either a wild coincidence or they're related. It's one or the other. But I'm not going to waste you guys' time. Without further ado, let's get into the video.
So we've all seen a massive drop-off over at the UFC. Crazy decisions all around. Dana White being petulant, forcing people to choose their favorite Muslim fighters and all that. But trust Sean Strickland to keep things interesting.
You know, I don't really follow MMA drama, so I don't really know who Sean Strickland is. But if this picture is anything to go off, then he seems like a pretty big cornball. Like, bro, the Cancel Me t-shirt, yeah, this shit not tough, bro. This is not tough. I'm sorry if you think this is tough. Sorry you're not a Sigma, but this is not tough, bro. This is not cool like that.
Trust him to ask the important questions, and of course, to call out someone like Netflix for being gay and retarded.
Okay, so right off the bat, RPMMA talks exactly like how Ranting for Vengeance talks, except he's a lot calmer, right? Like, his voice is more soothing than Ranting for Vengeance. You know, Ranting for Vengeance, he just hops out the gate, he's like, "This is fucking gay and retarded, and I think everyone who worked on this should die!" And RPMMA, he's like, "This is gay and retarded. I think..." I can't do a fucking Irish accent. You get what I'm fucking what's his name? Ranting for Vengeance. He's a lot more angrier when he's making these videos versus RPMMA. His voice is kind of soothing. If he wasn't like a what is his job? What does he do? What does he even do? So I figured this would be the perfect segue to take a look at what type of content RPMMA is making. So, alright, from a quick glance at his videos, you can gather two things. Number one, he really likes Trump. And number two, he really does not like Muslims. He hates Muslim people. Like, bro, this one right here, The Great Replacement, in the Grand 25, damn near the Grand 26, bro. Are we serious? Listen, man, I'm not sure how big of a presence the Snowbrix96 channel has in Ireland, but y'all gotta let me know. Is this real? Is Ranting for Vengeance's dad just tweaking, or is this real, bro? Like, are Muslims actually taking over? Are they infiltrating? Are they wearing white people's skin and slowly becoming white people? Are they assimilating into the species? Like, what is going on in Ireland, bro? Like, please tell me. I want to know.
You gotta wonder who's making modern TV. Halo, The Witcher are all just sitting around a table asking yourselves, how do we burn money? Not a Star Trek fan, but the opening trailer is two fat dykes. How did this become America?
Am I tweaking? Because I thought... Oh god, bro. I thought fucking Star Trek was British. I thought that shit was British. So I'm losing my mind. I'm losing my mind. I'm going crazy. I'm the Joker now. You wanna know how I got cancer? But on a serious note, alright? As a representative of the American people, I can safely say that Halo, The Witcher, and Star Trek, they do not represent the American people. They do not represent the Americans, right? I'm not sure about The Witcher and Star Trek, but I do know that nobody liked Halo, alright? No one liked the Halo TV show. It was trash. It was the worst TV show ever made. Anyone who worked on it deserves to be killed.
At this stage, we all know that the UFC is literally just staying afloat now because of these type of outside the octagon statements from people like Sean Strickland, Conor McGregor, Jorge Masvidal. Controversy on the outside of the octagon is the only thing that has any bit of interest within the UFC now. In fairness, like, who wants to actually spend their hard-earned money paying the UFC to watch some Muslim lad from the mountains lie down on top of someone?
I'll tell you who's still watching the UFC. Real masculine men. Because real masculine men watch MMA. Because we all know that there's no more masculine hobby than watching two sweaty men roll around on the floor trying to make each other submit. The most masculine pastime, the most masculine show in the history of masculinity.
So I'm more than happy to have a little conversation in line with Sean Strickland and answer who exactly is behind the indoctrination of our youth through the means of Netflix or just mainstream media.
Oh my god, bro, it's always these types of people where instead of talking about like actual issues with society, you know, like hyperinflation and stuff like that, they're always just like, the gays, they want your children, they want they want to have sex with your
jiggle fuck with chicken, suckle jiggle bang.
Another thing these guys will do that just really weirds me out is that they'll get mad at quote-unquote woke indoctrination or gay indoctrination, and then they'll like and retweet one of those compilations of hot Pixar moms with the captions saying something like, thank God Disney made an entire generation of kids grow up straight.
We see this week that Netflix are trying to acquire Warner Brothers. 72 billion is on the line. If Netflix do actually acquire Warner Brothers, Trump even says that it would be a problem. I wonder what you would imagine that problem being.
I don't know, man. Maybe the fact that Netflix is slowly turning from a streaming service into a monopoly, or maybe the fact that some of the most beloved IPs in history are now under Netflix's belt, such as DC Comics, Harry Potter, Game of Thrones, Lord of the Rings, Scooby-Doo, Flintstones, Tom and Jerry, Looney Tunes, Mortal Kombat, the Lego games. I don't really want these under Netflix's belt, not because I think Netflix will, wokeify them or anything, but because I think Netflix would be wildly incompetent with them and wouldn't know how to use them.
Do I need to say it?
No, because I just did.
Absolutely not. Old Wolf says it over here on Twitter. Every recent movie on Netflix is like, gay guy is the voice of reason. Yes, correct. White man is the bad guy. Of course. Mom is the breadwinner. Children are sexualized. Black man is the hero. Woman has the balls. Dad is an idiot. Netflix is social engineering, not entertainment.
What the fuck kind of movies are you guys watching on Netflix, bro? Like, what kind of movies are you guys seeing on Netflix that made you come to this conclusion? Like, are you sure that you're not watching, like, some weird, like, Eastern European version of Netflix run by, like, 3 guys in Bosnia or something like that?
100% agreed. And do you actually think that this social engineering is an accident? Absolutely not. Netflix have had a bunch of controversies over the year. Some are prominent, some you have to go looking for. Is Netflix teen prostitution drama Baby obscene or just risque? Director Diego Kaplan defends Netflix Desire from accusations of child pornography. Cool. Netflix show prompts thousands to delete their account. Of course, they're talking about that movie there, which I'm pretty sure we're not even allowed to say on this platform, but everybody knows exactly what that is, and it's vile.
Okay, man, you kind of got me on this one. I'm not going to defend Netflix on that. I think those movies are pretty bad, or I don't think I can say them. Like, as much as I don't like RPMMA, I also don't like those movies. In fact, I don't like those movies even more than I don't like RPMMA. Like, I'm not going to sit here and be like, actually, I think Desire was amazing and secretly a hidden gem. No, I don't think that. That would be stupid, and it would be even more stupid of me to say that just because I don't like Ranting for Vengeance's father. Now, RPMMA has an excellent hook here, right? Those Netflix movies are bad. I sure hope this hook is well executed.
Seen huge analysis and studies done across the board on Netflix kids shows showing that they are flooded with LGBTQ themes. Now everybody who has a social media account has seen the videos of a very, very high proportion of children's TV shows produced and put out by Netflix that are just filled with depravity, filled with LGBTQ.ie propaganda.
And you've lost me. You just lost me.
Indoctrinating young malleable minds and coercing the young people into that LGBTQ mafia.
Gay mafia! Gay mafia reference! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god, this is something that only the OG Snowbrix viewers will realize. This is something that only the OGs will realize, right? if you're an OG Snowbrix fan, you know the gay mafia lore.
It's absolutely vile and disgusting. But in fairness, when they do a true life story like the teenager jailed for life for Elaine Adams' murder, they do it with style, because we get the race swap, the obligatory race swap, the TV show Adolescence. Pictured here, young white kid with the evil eye, and pictured here was the actual perpetrator of the crime.
Now, you would have some ground if Adolescence was based solely on this one particular murder, but it's not. Adolescence was not based on one particular story, but was instead based on the rise in knife crime amongst young men in the UK, with online radicalization being a major factor.
The time a race swap will go in that direction is when they're trying to protect the black community. They're vile scumbags and they need to be called out. Let me take you on a little journey into the past here to find the root of why Netflix is a propaganda machine and where exactly it stems from. Sigmund Freud.
What? Sigmund Freud? We're talking about Netflix. What does Sigmund Freud have to do with this?
Sigmund Freud, as many might know, is the father of psychoanalysis. He claimed that he was molested by his siblings. Freud was a cocaine addict and a pedophile advocate who taught that children sexually lusted after their parents.
Uh-huh. And what does this have to do with Netflix? Even better question, what does this have to do with gay people?
Of course he did. A lot of people buy into that freakazoid, and when you do the research, it's pretty horrific.
Who is buying into this? Alright, no, not once have I ever talked to one of my friends and be like, yo, that paper that Sigmund Freud did where he thinks that children are sexually attracted to their parents is a stroke of genius. Like, bro, if you buy into this, if you think that Sigmund Freud is a genius because of this, I think that you deserve to be
jiggle fuckle tugin, supple jiggle bang.
Freud's grandson, Sir Clement Freud, had been accused of molesting multiple young girls and was suspected in the disappearance of Madeleine McCann. Freud's sister claimed that she was regularly abused by her perverted father, and she gave birth to Freud's nephew, Edward Bernays. He took the family's work in psychology and used it to help the governments and corporations manipulate the minds of the public. Hired by an American tobacco company, Bernays manipulated women into buying more cigarettes by convincing them smoking was a feminist liberation. Thanks to Bernays and his twisted family legacy, social engineering became big business. Modern psychology was used to exploit mankind's mental weakness, nurture the public's lower desires, and turn people into mindless consumers. And here's where the rubber meets the road in terms of this little backstory. Edward Bernays' great nephew is a lad called Mark Bernays Randolph, and he is the co-founder and original CEO of Netflix.
Well, that was an interesting trip down the Freud family tree, but here's the problem. While Mark Randolph was the co-founder of Netflix, he left Netflix in 2002. All the shows that you are complaining about are from the 2020s. I'm not sure what kind of drugs this guy is smoking, but I want me some of that, because genuinely, how does one come to the conclusion that Sigmund Freud mind control tactics are being used by Netflix in order to promote the gay agenda? Genuinely, how does one come to this conclusion?
Does anybody think that this is a coincidence? Netflix has not only replaced network television as the premier home of pop culture, it also is continuing to denigrate the depraved social engineering of Bernays and Freud's legacy. 13 Reasons Why. The Netflix show was accused of romanticizing suicide during a recent increase in teenage suicide. What about The First Temptation of Christ? Jesus Christ is depicted as a homosexual. A Texas grand jury indicted Netflix for depicting child sex in the movie.
Brother, you have the perfect thing to be mad at Netflix over. Get mad at 13 Reasons Why for glorifying suicide. Get mad at that Netflix movie for sexualizing children. If you got mad at Netflix for those reasons, I wouldn't fight you on that. I think that's valid. Instead, you're like,
Netflix is perpetrating the gay agenda.
And it's just, oh my fucking god, it's so stupid, right? Like, you have the perfect thing to be mad about and morally grandstand over Netflix, right? You have the perfect thing to do that. And yet, you're actively choosing the stupidest things. Oh my god. Oh my god.
So when the former UFC champion of the world, Sean Strickland, says over any social media, do you ever wonder why our TV is so morally corrupt? Who is producing this? Who thinks that this makes money? Who thinks that it's a good idea? Well, we have a little backstory there to answer Sean Strickland's question, and it's very interesting.
that was the end of RPMMA's video. I don't really know how to feel about it, because at the same time, he's more and less extreme than Ranting for Vengeance. Like, I don't know how to describe it, because Ranting for Vengeance, he doesn't make videos on like super serious political topics. He's usually talking about like, I don't know, like video games, comic books, superhero movies, really like superhero movies and manga and comic books and stuff like that. But he's a lot angrier when talking about wokeness in this media. Like, he's a lot angrier, and he's like, "Oh, I hate woke. Anyone who likes woke should die." And you know, you have RPMMA, who's making videos on like serious things, on like serious political topics, and he's like a lot calmer about it. It's weird. Like, it's really weird. It unsettles me. Anyways, I think that's gonna be the end of today's video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that great stuff. Be sure to become a channel member, and be sure to join my Discord server, link in the description. Comment of the week status goes to the wonderful, the lovely Tremajit. If you want comment of the week status, all you have to do is be the first person to comment on the next video, and I'll give you a shout out. I'm gonna keep talking for a little bit, just because I feel like I genuinely kind of entered the flow state with this gameplay right here. If you've made it this far in the video, then comment down below what you're getting for Christmas. Have you been a good person this year? Or are you getting coal in your stocking? If you're getting coal in your stocking, what did you do to deserve the coal in your stocking, alright? These are all questions that I want answers to. Maybe after this video, you can go back and amend your original comment. Alright, that's it. I've run out of ideas for how to prolong this conversation. Anyways, if you like my videos, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, become a channel member, join my Discord, all that great stuff. Subscribe, and yeah, that's it. I'll see you guys all next week. I'm out. Peace. You know, guys, there's a Ranting for Vengeance shaped hole in my heart that I just can't seem to satisfy. And since I've sworn off making Ranting for Vengeance videos for a while, I decided to make another video on someone who's very, very near and dear to me. Andy Pants Gaming is back! Yay! And with even worse opinions, alright? I'm praying, alright? I'm praying to God, praying to Jesus, praying to Jesus, to Allah, to that my Andy Pants video won't get taken down, because the last one did, and I can't tell if it was because YouTube's AI shit the bed or because it was mass reported by his audience of red pill toddlers. But enough of my ramblings. Let's get straight into the video.
I'm gonna need y'all to stop noticing some things. Stop noticing that Nathan Drake and Sully were replaced by girl bosses. Stop noticing that a small black woman single-handedly beat the shit out of Nathan and Sam.
Alright, right off the bat, we have something that pisses me off, right? I always hate when people like Andy Pants will get mad at a woman taking down a man in a fight. Like a single woman beating a guy in a one-on-one fight. But they'll have no problem, right? No problem with a male character single-handedly, like, beating up 10 guys in a fight. Like with Batman from the fucking Arkham series, right? He'll just, like, beat up 10 guys in a fight, and these guys won't have an issue with it. But if a woman takes down a man, no, that's not physically possible.
Stop noticing that the developer of the Ultra-based Killzone games now makes games about a fat, dog-ugly lesbian who definitely drives a Jeep Wrangler. Stop noticing that one of the best characters of all time, Jin Sakai, was replaced with a butch lesbian who raises a child with another woman, an action that God hates.
So he's just like Bacon Guy, but on steroids. I remember Bacon Guy's apology, like quote-unquote apology, where he compared being gay to smoking. Alright, that's basically just Andy Pants' content. Like, that's all his content, just with gaming in the background, I guess.
Stop noticing that angry masculinity personified, Kratos, was replaced with the cuck of war, who isn't even the main character in his own story anymore.
Oh, you mean this Kratos? This guy? Are you sure about that? Are you really sure about that?
Stop noticing that a muscly armed lesbian in Last of Us 2 literally killed Joel as the bagel director of the game held him down for a beating. Stop noticing that the director is Jewish. Ellie's girlfriend is Jewish, and the entire game was stated by the director to be a metaphor for Israel.
I love Israel! I love Israel! I love Israel! I love Israel so much! Israel has every right to exist! Oh, I love Israel! I love Israel!
Stop noticing that Peter is cucked by a woman and a black man in Spider-Man 2, and MJ somehow went from being a journalist to a superhero because stunning and brave. Shall we do Xbox next? Stop noticing that based masculine characters like Marcus, Dom, and Cole were replaced by Kate Diaz. Stop noticing that Halo Studios made Cortana ugly and Chief a simp. Stop noticing that they made the hero in Fable a woman. But guys, don't worry, there's totally not an attack on men right now.
Jiggle fuck with chicken, suck jiggle bang.
Stop noticing that based, masculine Assassin's Creed protagonists were replaced with a black, queer man and an ugly woman. Stop noticing that Silent Hill F is just feminist propaganda designed to make women hate the concept of marriage. Very subtle, by the way. There's a boss at the end that's a wedding dress.
Oh my god, Silent Hill F isn't against the concept of institution of marriage as a whole. It's a period piece, okay? It's a period piece from a time in Japan where marriages were shifting from traditional arranged marriages, or I guess quote-unquote normal or love marriages, right? Not the institution and conception of marriage. You illiterate buffoon. Did you even play the game, you clown?
Stop noticing that after 3 Witcher games starring Geralt, the new game we play exclusively as Ciri, who they just happen to make ugly and fat now. Could it be because of all the diversity consultants and cucked beta males that CDPR recently hired? Nah, couldn't be related. Stop noticing that you couldn't play as a woman or a minority in Call of Duty World at War 2008, and now you are forced to play as a woman and a minority in Black Ops 7.
Okay, Andy Pants, Andy, come here. Call of Duty World at War takes place during the 1940s and World War II, and Black Ops 7 takes place in 2035. I hate Andy Pants is making me defend Black Ops 7, but whatever, just continue with the video.
Stop noticing that you couldn't play as a woman or a minority in Battlefield 4, and now you are forced to play as a woman and a minority in Battlefield 6.
Oh my god, bro, it's a woman, right? It's a woman, right? I know, women are scary, they're terrifying, right? They left you and took the kids, but you can't take it out on video games, okay, Andy? You need to work through this by yourself.
Stop noticing that in World War Z, all of the default characters you can pick from are gay and black.
Oh, nah. I know this man is not dissing my GOAT right now. My GOAT, World War Z, alright? Best! One of the best zombie games of all time. I know you're not dissing that shit right now. Or just because, I can't play straight white man, duh. Man, shut your ass up, alright? Go back to, I don't know, flipping burgers or whatever it is before you became a fucking anti-woke grifter, right? Go back to complaining about your wife leaving you.
Stop noticing that every single film franchise has been cucked by a strong girl boss woman. Stop noticing that movies that always starred men in the lead roles are all women now. Predator, Ghostbusters, Mad Max, Marvel, Star Wars, etc. All women. Stop noticing that in Marvel Zombies last month, they replaced all the male superheroes with girl bosses.
It's because all the male heroes, they're zombified, bro. They're all dead, alright? The reason we're focusing on these people is because they're the only people that haven't been zombified yet, alright? The reason we're not focusing on the male protagonists is because all the male protagonists are dead. And all the female protagonists too. I wonder why he's not getting mad at, like, all the female people getting zombified. I wonder why he's not mad at that. Maybe it's because it doesn't fit his agenda.
Man, that's a lot of stuff I need you guys to stop noticing. So boys, on to the real question, why? Why is all of modern media, video games, and film against us?
Jiggle fuck with you again, suckle jiggle bang.
Keep watching, and I think the answer will surprise you.
Now, you see, there was originally going to be a sponsored segment here. In Andy's video, there's a sponsored segment, but I cut that out because I respect your guys' time. And plus, I figured I could replace it with a better sponsor. Me! Subscribe, join my Discord server, become a channel member, do all that stuff. Do it. Do it now. Yeah, I see you. You, do it. Do it.
Why has the systematic attempt to erase men gotten so bad? To put it simply, it's because men are the guardians of everything that is good, beautiful, and true in society, and there are evil women out there who hate men and want to be in charge.
Oh yeah, guys, make sure to thank the men in your life for shielding you from such terrible things like Xbox and Activision and Hassan Piker and PlayStation and gay people.
About it. America was created by 56 men. Every skyscraper, bridge, and cathedral was built by men. The electricity and plumbing and foundation of your house right now was built by men. Who do governments send to fight wars and save women from burning buildings? Men. Men are the creators and sustainers of civilization itself, and we've done it for tens of thousands of years. But as Bill Burr said one time, feminism views male patriarchy as a box of chocolates. Equal pay and being in charge of video games? Yeah, we'll take some of that. Digging ditches and roofing in the summer? Nah, y'all can keep that. Feminism at its heart is a jealousy of God-given male authority, and it is a desire to take away male authority and put women in charge.
Oh yeah, man, I understand it. Women, they want rights. In my opinion, it depends on how good they are at cooking. Am I right, guys?
You can see this all going back to the story of Adam and Eve in the garden.
Bro, what the fuck? How did we go from women don't deserve rights to the story, the biblical story of Adam and Eve, and how this relates to women deserving no rights? How did we get here?
Satan knew that if he came after Adam directly, his neck would get snapped. But if he was able to trick Eve, then he could get control of Adam through Eve. Satan is the father of feminism, and Satan was the first feminist.
Oh my fucking god, bro. Oh my god. Holy fuck. Oh my god. That was so bad. I got AIDS from that shit, bro. Oh my goodness, bro. Oh my god, what a terrible take. Oh my god, I can't believe I can't believe this, bro. Oh my god.
Why none of us should watch Korn or support OnlyFans or Cornhub. Korn is literally Satan getting control of you through a woman.
Okay, I can't lie. This is very solid advice from Andrew Pansakis. Do not goon. That shit will fry your dopamine receptors. Don't do that.
But jumping into video games, I want to talk about how these degenerate bulldykes were able to do this in so many game studios. Now, first and foremost, I want to make it clear that beta cuck men opened the door for this. Phil Spencer, Herman Hulst, Yves Guillemot, Neil Cuckman, Cory Barlog, all pussified men who hired women to be in leadership positions at game studios. But specifically, let's look at some of the key ones involved. Kim Belair. Kim was hired and promoted at Ubisoft to push her anti-male, anti-white, satanic propaganda in all of the games she touched.
Anti-male, anti-white, satanic propaganda. Bro, pick a side. So I decided to see if Andy Pants was yimmering and yammering about complete nonsense like he always does, or if maybe, just maybe this one time, his incessant yappings had a bit of truth to them. And from what I can see, no, not really. Alright, this is what Kim Belair has worked on.
Her team at Sweet Baby Inc. is featured in videos like this.
Over 2,000 video games are produced every year in Canada. The industry makes over $3 billion every year by creating new games, but marginalized people seem to always get the shorter end of the stick.
Can somebody tell me what reality this woman is living in? Last I checked, every single effing game had a gay, disabled black girl boss in it. So this whole marginalized people are getting cut out, like, it's just bullcrap now.
The importance of seeing this character's tits is more important than protecting their lungs.
Video game corporations have been repeating their recipe for success, but diversity has now become the missing ingredient.
Enemies or adversities. Like movies, you can have some form of, misrepresentation of mental illness.
I like how Andy Pants says that this guy reeks of major in women's studies, when in reality, Andy Pants reeks of my wife left and took the kids. Now, if you're wondering why I'm making so many jokes about Andy Pants' wife leaving him and taking the kids, it's because it's actually happened. Andy Pants' wife has left him, and she took the kids. Want to know why? Because Andrew Pansakis, alright, he likes to talk about pedophiles a lot. In fact, he really likes to refer to gay people as pedophiles. But here's what he doesn't want you to know, right? He tried to create his own video game, right? He created an absolute piece of dog shit, right? It's called Chad versus the Gay Nazis, and it's terrible. It's ass. And, alright, and what they don't want you to know is that Andy Pants included AI-generated CP of his own daughter. And this resulted in his wife leaving him and taking the kids, and that's why I'm making so many my wife left and took the kids jokes.
Guys, are you starting to see how gay race communism ruins everything?
Gay race communism? Okay, dude, just shut up. Just shut up at this point.
They poke their Jewish head into your hobby and say, you need some diversity in here.
Bro, why are Jewish people getting strays, bro? Oh my god. Why are we throwing strays at Jewish people in Israel? Israel! I love Israel! I love Israel so much! I love Israel!
I mean, the government of Canada engages in institutional theft by giving these companies tax breaks for having a diverse workforce.
Now, I'm not sure if Andy Pants is intentionally dense or just retarded, because institutional theft is a very, very, very broad term that can mean quite a few things.
Have you ever wondered why these women and Jews never want diversity on an oil rig, or diversity in the construction business, or diversity on deep sea welding? No, because none of them have done an actual day of work in their life, because for them this is all about getting power.
Oh my goodness, bro. He's not even hiding it, bro. Oh my god. In fact, why am I doing this? Why am I here? I don't need to be here. I'm leaving. I'm out. Goodbye.
Satan wants power and influence, and you do that through media and you do that through video games.
Yeah, guys, Satan is using Jews, women, and gays to brainwash you into doing what? I don't know. But he's brainwashing you into doing something. Into doing what? I don't know. But he's the reason why my wife left and took the kid.
But furthermore, we might ask the question, if video games are played by 90% men, as this Capcom study shows, why is it wrong to go after your demographic?
You see, Andy Pants isn't lying, but he's not telling the truth either. You see, while a majority of gamers are male, the number is much closer to 60% rather than the 82% Andy claims it is. So while Andy Pants wasn't lying about the majority of gamers being male, he was lying about the amount of male gamers there are.
I mean, Hallmark, Lifetime, Ulta, they aim their marketing efforts at women. But video games being made for men? Oh, we can't have that now, can we? All right, so at the end of this video, I want to give you guys some practical things we can do to end women infiltrating video games. But right now, I want to talk about 3 games infested with feminism and how you can avoid these games at all costs.
Avoid them at all costs? Bro, why are you talking about it like they're zombies, bro? Like, oh, alright, calm down, buddy. Alright, calm down. Dragon Age the Veilguard isn't gonna break through the walls and infect you with the woke mind virus. Alright, chill the fuck out.
Number 1, Ghost of Yotei. If you meet a guy who bought Ghost of Yotei, just know that you're not talking to a man anymore. You're talking to a biological male with a pocket vagina who cosplays as a woman.
Oh, so we're just being transphobic now. We're just not offering up any actual criticism of the game. We're just being transphobic now. Like, if you enjoyed this game, you're just not a real woman or a real man. I don't know. If genuinely, bro, trans people had nothing to do with this conversation, you just brought them up out of nowhere, right? Like, genuinely, bro, what do you have against trans people? Are trans people part of the gay, woke, satanic, communist cult that influenced your wife to leave you and take the kids?
Never has there been a more brazen feminist move than replacing based hero Jin Sakai with an ugly lesbian girl boss. While the combat in Ghost of Tsushima was always a bit slow for me compared to the FromSoft games, let's be honest, you really are there for the story and all the based feudal Japanese stuff. Well, historicity has been completely thrown out the window with Yotei, just like Ubisoft did by putting a Braca man in AC Shadows. See, guys, because history doesn't matter. Authenticity doesn't matter. What matters is us projecting our own horrible Western politics on a 1600s game. So right off the bat, the entire premise of a female assassin who can take down a trained samurai is completely ridiculous, and I could never play this game with a straight face without laughing. Now
Wow, it's almost like they're fiction. It's almost like they don't exist. It's almost like this is a fictional universe.
Now you might say to me, but Andrew, you never had a problem with Bayonetta. Yeah, dude, Bayonetta is not trying to be historical. Ghost of Yotei claims to be historical. So completely different. So now that they've committed to their fictional girl boss who never existed, the least they could do is pick a voice actor or mocap actress who could believably take down a man.
You know, Andy, it's pretty funny that you're talking about that you're saying Atsu didn't exist when you know who else? You know who else didn't exist? Jin Sakai. It's almost like this is a fictional world. This is a fictional universe. It's almost like this is fiction.
Plenty of rough-looking Chinese and Japanese female MMA fighters who could believably maybe take out one guy. He says to the professional MMA fighter. Okay, Andy, if you're so tough, if you're so based, if you're such an alpha sigma male, and it's not your fault that your wife left you and took the kids, right? Why don't you fight one of these people and see, and we'll see who comes out on top, right? We'll see who comes out with less broken bones. Is it gonna be you, or is it gonna be the trained MMA fighter, right? That's my question, right? Who's winning this fight? But this is who they chose as their voice actress and mocap artist. What should we call this body type? Never missed a meal? Sitting in a chair all day? They prick her finger and Hot Pocket filling is going to come out. But it gets worse. They gave 5 different fighting styles to her, and none of them could believably be practiced against a group of men.
Katanas. A biological woman could not even do this. Okay, bro. Okay, Brosif. Okay, Brogosynthesis. Okay, Brosivius. Okay, Bromeo and Broliette. Okay, since you're the expert on women's anatomy now.
I have a buddy who's been in martial arts his entire life, and he explained to me that it's literally impossible for a woman to wield katanas the way that Atsu does in Yokai. Women simply lack the upper body strength. It's not possible.
Okay, buddy. Okay, pal. Okay, friendo. Answer me this. Since you're such the expert at women's anatomy, or no, since your friend is such the expert at women's anatomy, alright, answer me this. How much do your children weigh? Because I'm sure your wife picked them up and ran out of the house, you know, when she left you and took the kids.
Again, physics and reality don't matter when you gotta get your stunning and brave on. Also, as the cherry on top, it also happens that the voice actress of Atsu is, of course, a satanic Antifa leftist who just said that she is part of Antifa on Twitter.
Listen, man, you had a little hook. You had just a smidgen of a grasp. You have a smidgen of a hook, and yet you immediately ruined it by calling her a Satanist, right? Listen, man, I'm not sure what Andy Pants' obsession with Satan is, but that's just like one of the terms that he uses to describe anyone who doesn't like him, right? It's always gay, woke, satanic, communist, pedophile, cuck, beta male. I'm trying to think, what else? I don't know. I'm out of labels. Basically, you get what I'm saying. Anyone who disagrees with Andy Pants is a gay, woke, satanic, communist, globalist pedophile who obviously wants to destroy who obviously wants to destroy the West's Christian values and start a new world order. I don't know. Whatever Andy Pants believes.
Also, should you be even remotely attracted to this woman, they made sure to put the most dog-ugly outfits in the game imaginable. You know, because men are evil and must be punished for their God-given desires.
Oh my god, bro, man. Shut your lame ass up, alright? I'm tired of this, alright? Anytime a woman in a video game isn't prime goon material, it's always, woke, I can't goon to this woman, it's woke, Like, it's always some dumb shit like that, bro. This is why I can't stand Andy Pants. This is why I can't take him seriously. Because anytime a woman isn't prime goon material, oh, the game went woke, I can't goon to this character. It's also hilarious because earlier, Andy Pants was talking about the dangers of pornography and pornography addiction. And now he's complaining that the woman in the video game isn't prime goon material, bro. The irony.
So how have the Jewish...
Israel, I love Israel. I love Israel so much, I love Israel.
So how have the Jewish-owned YouTubers and media conglomerates been responding to this game? 10 out of 10. Replacing a man with a woman, so unique. Ghost of Yote, so beautiful. Screenshot. So this applies equally to all of the games I'm talking about today. But guys, if you see a YouTuber supporting Ghost of Yote, we should treat them the way we treated traitors in World War II.
Yeah, guys, if you support Ghost of Yote, you deserve to be shot and killed and executed by firing squad. You don't deserve civil rights. We should publicly hang you.
The men of Reddit still pushing feminism in 2025 have pocket vaginas, and we shouldn't even acknowledge these guys as men anymore. I'm talking about Mighty Keef, Actman, Bellular, Shillup, Luke Stevens, Reforge Gaming, Rhino, Shinobi. All of these dudes are beta cucks.
Really? Last time I checked, Actman absolutely cucked you in a debate. In fact, he cucked you so hard that you took down the debate on your channel, and when he re-uploaded it on his channel, you copyright striked him. Not only that, but your wife left you and took the kids.
These dudes aren't men, they're women cosplaying as men, and we should deal with them accordingly.
What do you mean by that? What do you mean by deal with them accordingly? What do you mean by that? Explain yourself. Explain your motives. What do you mean by that?
Number 2, The Witcher 4. So I've seen a few people simping for Ciri in Witcher 4, and I'm sorry, I just don't think you guys have been paying attention. Ciri is actually much more powerful than a Witcher. She's a mage with elder blood, so she's way more powerful than a Witcher. So why would Ciri ever want to be downgraded to being a Witcher? Well, because stunning and brave, of course, and because women gotta do everything a man can do. It's like if you were the garbage man at a company and your wife was the CEO cucking you, and one day she showed up and was the garbage man just to embarrass you. This is essentially what they're doing with girl boss Ciri. The other ridiculous thing is that the trial of grasses, which every Witcher has to undergo, would have definitely killed her, as it kills basically every woman who's tried it. This is why basically only men can be Witchers. But is this not the most 2025 ass game ever, that we have to make Ciri a Witcher who does the trial of grasses just to show men that she can do everything a man can do, even if that thing is chemical torture? The cherry on top is, of course, that they had to make her ugly. Gone is the completely freaking beautiful young Ciri from Witcher 3. She looks like she smoked Camel Reds for every day for 20 years. Yikes.
I don't really know what this guy's talking about because I don't know if me, I don't know if I'm retarded, but I think they look the same, right? I think they look pretty freaking similar, right? Maybe I'm stupid, maybe I'm blind, right? Maybe I'm legally blind, I'm blind as a bat, but I think they look pretty similar. And once again, this guy's doing the thing where it's like, oh, you shouldn't beat your dick to pornography. But this woman I'm looking at isn't goon material.
But boys, uglification of women is directly from the leftist playbook. Every woman must be an ugly lesbian girl boss, and they all must be more powerful than men. Another thing I don't think people have considered is how so much of Witcher 3 was fun specifically because you're playing as a man. You're a badass, you're having romances with women, etc. Think about it. All of that is gone in Witcher 4 because you're playing as a woman now. No more flirting with Yennefer. No more flirting with Triss. No more flirting with Keira Metz. Because you're a woman now, guys. You're not Geralt. I feel like people have just sort of accepted the idea, oh yeah, it makes sense to play as Ciri now. And nobody has really thought about how actually unfun it is to play 200 hours being forced to play as a woman. Another thing that lets me know how horribly woke Witcher 4 is going to be is all of the political activists who are working on it now. As you can see in the photo here, all of the based white dudes who made Witcher 3 have been fired, and they all left to go form a separate studio. So who's left to work on Witcher 4? Well, women and gay men, of course. In 2023, things took a really dark turn for CDPR when they launched their new Diversity and Inclusion initiative.
Diversity, wokeness, inclusivity, gender affirming care, pronouns. Oh, guys, the wokeness, the woke mind virus. It's deep inside of me. It's penetrating me.
Witcher 4 recently hired as its senior writer this chick Mary Kinney, who worked on such woke disasters as Spider-Man 2 at Insomniac. Mary recently said this: "There are so many LGBTQ developers, and we want what players want, to design experiences that tell the player, we're here, we're important, and we belong." Implying, I suppose, that she is a degenerate, God-hating lesbian as well.
Brother, where are you getting this information from? Oh yeah, I think we need more LGBT inclusion in video games. So you hate God? I mean, Jesus Christ, you could be the world's best long jumper the way you jumped to that conclusion.
With regard to LGBTQ inclusion, she said this: "We need to pull every lever we have, characters, community support, mechanics, to make it so." This woman is basically a propaganda activist who hates men and wants to push her anti-white, anti-male agenda.
Once again, man, you're jumping to conclusions. Oh, I think we need more LGBT inclusion in this game. Oh, so you hate men and white people?
But nah, bro. Witcher 4 is totally gonna be based. Totally. Don't even worry about it. Next, CDPR hired this guy, Kian Marr, to be a lore designer for Witcher 4. He's previously written for The Gamer and IGN, which are both incredibly woke. The dude is a satanic homosexual, and he said this: "People would rather be bigoted and blame the fact they're straight white men on their inability to get a job than, the fact they're not quite as good a writer as they'd like to think, which ironically is a byproduct of unfounded straight white man confidence."
I mean, I don't know why Andy Pants is getting mad at. I mean, that's basically the same thing that he did when his game got taken down for having AI-generated CP of his own daughter in it, and when his wife left and took the kids because of it.
Somebody said this on Twitter: "In 2020, I want muscle so I can effectively punch gamers, and also so I can carry cute people and dogs of any size easily." Kian replied, "I didn't realize until this tweet, but this is now also what I want," assuming he wants to punch gamers. Like, bro, why are you working at a game studio if you're publicly saying that you hate gamers? I don't get it. So yeah, guys, Witcher 4 is going to be a woke disaster, and I would say there's absolutely no hope for this game, and it's cooked already. Number 3, Control by Remedy Studios. Do you remember in the 2000s when Remedy made based games like Max Payne? Yeah, those days are long gone. So in 2019, when Control first came out, I think everything hadn't been girl-bossed yet, and so we were much more open to stuff like this.
Once again, bro, you're doing the thing where it's like, I can't beat my dick to this character. It's woke. I can't believe this, guys. This isn't prime goon material.
But now that every game has an ugly feminist girl boss, it's really hard for me to go back and play this game without throwing up in my mouth a little bit. Seriously, try to play Control now and you'll notice that it's an ugly feminist girl boss who's just completely unlikable. My whole thing about video games is that femininity should be a feature rather than a bug. Lara Croft is a badass and she uses her femininity and sexiness to her advantage rather than just trying to do everything a man can do. Another thing is that women have unique powers that men don't have.
Okay, Andy. Okay, pal. All right, do we have to go back in time? All right, with the female MMA fighter, with the female Japanese and MMA fighters, you said they could maybe, just maybe, beat up a weak man, a pathetic beta male cuck. So I'd like to see you fight one of them, right? Who do we think is gonna win, right? The guy who sits at his desk and complains about black people and gay people and women in video games all day, or the professional MMA fighter? You see, me personally, I think that would be a bit of a close fight, but I'd have to bet all my money on the MMA fighter.
Namely, they can tempt men and get them to do what they want. That is an undeniable power of women, and it is one that's often used in evil ways. But instead, what we're trying to do in video games today is just so desperately hard to prove that women can do everything men can do, and it's very boring. And you even see this dysfunction in modern society today. Women are foregoing being moms at home so they can work in a corporate soulless job just like men. What women have completely forgotten is that being a female is a feature, not a bug. You're more than just a copy of a man. You're a woman. And a female can create 20 more people. This is the most powerful thing that a woman can do, and it's incredible.
Listen, man, having kids is cool. I'm sure you want to have more, especially since your wife left you and took them. But how does this relate to the war on men in video games and media? How does this relate to the war on men?
Our society has women actually lowered in their importance in society because they're just trying to copy men, and it's sad. This is kind of random, but my wife and I...
You mean the new wife you have? After the old one left and took the kids?
This is kind of random, but my wife and I were watching The Mask last night with Jim Carrey and Cameron Diaz, and I was chuckling when Jim Carrey turns into a cartoon wolf because he's so attracted to Cameron Diaz. This used to be like a major plot point in movies and games. Women's power was always the power of seduction. Men were the ones doing the fighting and killing. And honestly, ask any woman, and if they're honest, they would rather be attractive to men rather than be out there fighting and killing. Our society has sold women a lie that they will find fulfillment in copying men, and it's just not true. I hate to say it, but your grandpa was right. Giving women the right to vote was the first step in the satanic feminism taking over society we see today.
He lost custody of his daughter, by the way. Oh my god, bro, this fucking guy, every time I see him, I'm like, oh yeah, this guy reeks of my wife left and took the kids, and it's all the liberals' fault, it's all those libtards' fault, making my wife and my daughter intelligent enough to realize that I'm a shitty person. It's all their fault.
So boys, in closing here, what can we do today in our own personal sphere of influence to fight the encroachment of feminism into video games? Number one, women should be at home having children. They should not be working. So if you are a hiring manager or you work at a company, I think you have a moral obligation to stop hiring women.
Yeah, guys, make sure to discriminate against women in the workplace, because women's rights are literally Satanism. Now let's be honest with ourselves. Do we really think anyone watching Andy Pance's videos are old enough to have a job? Let's be honest with ourselves, alright? Let's be honest with ourselves. Most Andy Pants viewers are togglers who got sent down the alt-right pipeline. And I would know, because I was one of them. I mean, it starts off, you watch some YouTuber make fun of someone with pronouns in their bio. Next thing you know, you think there's a secret government of Jews, gays, and communists trying to destroy the West's Christian values.
Number two, expose beta cuck men who support feminism. These are not men, they have pocket vaginas. All of these homos support LGBTQ garbage and feminism. Do you remember what we did with traitors during World War II? Yeah, these are not men. These are women cosplaying as men.
Yeah, guys, if you believe in gay rights, you don't deserve yours.
Number three, finally and most importantly, do not buy anything that pushes anti-male hatred. The only way these companies will listen is if we hit them in the wallet. These are a couple games that have come out recently that we know are deeply hateful of men. Ghost of Yotei, Assassin's Creed Shadows, Silent Hill F, Witcher 4, Hades 2, Ark Raiders, Marathon, and Intergalactic: The Heretic Prophet.
Okay, this is for anyone who's played these games before. Tell me, after playing these games, how did you feel? A strong, a burning, a passionate hatred for white men? Tell me, were you chanting for the death of the white race once you've got finished playing Ark Raiders, or Ghost of Yotei, or Assassin's Creed Shadows? Tell me if it's true. I must know.
In closing, guys, do not support these games. Do not talk about these games. Do not give these games any attention because they are hateful anti-male propaganda.
Once again, I'm asking to anyone out there, if you've played any of these games, please let me know if you've just felt sort of bubbling, passionate, burning hatred towards men, specifically white men. Alright, please let me know if you've been affected by this so I can reach out and maybe help you with your issue. Anyways, I think that's going to be the end of today's video. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and become a channel member, and be sure to join my Discord server, link in the description. Comment of the week goes to Schnickenpick. If you want comment of the week, all you have to do is be the first person to comment on the video, and you'll get a shout out in the next video. And with that all said, I'm out. Peace.